stars in it that were, well, not really stars or anybody at the time. Features a young Johnny Depp as the protagonist of the story, and at the end, a young Matt LeBlanc as the new protagonist. I'm Zach Paul. That's going to do it for me for the day and for the week. Back with you Monday at midnight. The Danny Bonaducci and Sarah Show up next.
This traffic report is brought to you by Taco Bell in Federal Way on State Route 161 southbound at 28th Avenue South. We do have a collision currently blocking all lanes, so be advised you should find an alternate route to get through that area. And in Marysville on I-5 southbound between 88th Street and Highway 529, seeing some slow traffic there, just a minor delay. Have you seen the trailer for Web of Fries? You need to. While the movie is shrouded in mystery, Taco Bell's new $1 nacho fries covered in Mexican spices and dipped in warm nacho cheese sauce are very real and delicious. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Staples. It's going to be another brisk day today with highs in the mid-40s. A couple light showers this morning, but we should be seeing some sun around 11 a.m. It's currently 38 in downtown Seattle. Let Staples help you this tax season with everything you need for less, from storage boxes and filing supplies to software like QuickBooks and TurboTax. And right now, get up to $15 off when you buy TurboTax. Ends 2/17/18. Excludes TurboTax Basic. Staples, it's pro time. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
Well, I'm flattered, I guess. It is 5:47. I'm Danny Bonaducci. This is KZOK. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
I'm well, thank you, Paul. How's it going, buddy?
Great.
All
Thank
good?
you. Yeah.
Good. Glad to hear it. Kids,
Doing great.
Wonderful.
like that shirt, Derek. And there's some fine radio. I like Derek's shirt.
Thank you,
Yeah.
buddy. KZOK.com,
There you
Danny
go.
TV.
And it's worth doing that for that shirt. I think you'll just go, wow,
Yeah.
shirt. All right, so I want to tell you a little story this morning, but 50% of it, if you will, is foreign to me. So there's a fear that I will lose track of either the chain of events or what happened when or to whom. So I'll do my best. As you know, there's a lot of cute dogs around this radio. So tons, surprising amount of dogs.
Yeah.
In a place that has kind of a corporate vibe, to be
Right.
honest with you. You don't think I don't feel like, oh, the iHeart guys, they scream puppy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But,
and this is an office place for a lot of people. It's an office job.
Because 10 radio stations and 11,000 people work at each. My math is 16 million people are on this floor.
I think that's accurate.
I do. So anyway, there's all these dogs around here, and they're not one person. Like, who's that guy that has a cute little dog, comes in, it's a wiener dog with hair?
Sean.
What's he
Sean.
do?
Webb.
Webb? Okay. So he's got like a full-time dog, and then there's like 5 or 6 other ancillary dogs that go around. So
And they range in size. Some are
Yeah.
tiny and some are like golden retrievers.
the
Yeah.
dog that is an important part of the story is Tiny. So I'm walking out of here last week, maybe Wednesday, Thursday last week, and there's the craziest looking, cute, tiny little dog. It's got to be some kind of pug, but it looks way more like a bat. I've mentioned its name's Turtle.
I asked, and I swear she said it was a Bichon Frise. It's not a pug.
Well, then she's insane and lying. But here's the thing, man. So whenever I see a cute dog, because we want one of those French bulldogs, and I would take pictures of French bulldogs when I would see them walking down the street or whatever,
Yeah.
and we'd send them to each other, and we're cute and in love. And now that just turned to almost all dogs. Got to take a picture that I saw a dog and you didn't. Here you go. But I see the crazy dog named Turtle with this lady that tells me she knows me from somewhere that maybe worked at our other station or something.
I don't know
but
who she is.
Okay, so I don't feel as bad as I thought I did. I say, hey, man, can I take a picture of your crazy-looking dog? And she said, sure. So I take a picture of Turtle, but Turtle's on acid. Turtle is a meth dealer. Turtle is Breaking Bad. And I just have brown blur, like 27 shots of brown blur. But that's fine with me. So then I put my phone down. And I start petting Turtle, playing with Turtle. And the lady says, can I take a picture of you with Turtle? I said, yeah, sure. And Turtle's in my lap. And I'm very happy, man. Click. That should be that story. But it is not. I see her Monday of this. I don't even know if it was Monday. A couple days ago. It could have been Monday, I think. And I see her in the parking lot. I'm leaving, and she's coming in. She's got Turtle. Oh, Turtle, I love you. How are you? But she looks weird, and she looks like almost afraid. And she's looking at me, and she goes, and I'm going to do the voice because I want you to get it, and I'll stop doing it. But she does this. Are you mad at me? Like that. I'm thinking, I don't know you. I know Turtle. Turtle's my pal.
I don't
And
even remember what you look like.
here's the best thing in life about being sober for me. 10 years ago, that would have killed me. So what did I
What'd you
do?
do?
Where was I in your house? Did we do it? Did I hit your husband? I'm not clear on several years of my life. And so that's the thing. If I'm ever going to thank God, it's that. I can say, thank God I never killed anybody because I'm behind the wheel of a car, but I never killed anybody when I was behind the wheel of a car. I did terrible, embarrassed. I showed up naked at meetings and stuff like that. So now, sober for 7 years, this is her. Whatever's happening is her thing, not mine.
Yeah.
So I go, I don't know what you're talking about. And she said, well, stop doing the voice. It's too annoying and it's going to make me cry. She said, I put that picture of you and Turtle up on my Instagram account and you sent back the filthiest language. You effing B. You're stupid and you're ugly and I'm going to sue you. And not just dirty language, but mean. Old, things like that. Whatever you could do to hurt some lady's feelings, I said on Instagram to this lady. And I said, I don't know. I don't know how to Instagram. I don't know what Instagram is. I don't have an Instagram. That's nothing my family does. I don't know what you're talking about. And she says, but it says Danny Bonaducci's Instagram and there's a picture of you. And I said, because now I'm starting to get it. I said, is it a picture of me when I'm a kid? Oh, here, if you're going, I'll try and help you. It's Danny Bonaducci at Instagram.com or Instagram.com at Danny Bonaducci. One of those. So she says, she's asking me, and I said, I don't know it. I don't understand it. And I said, now I'm starting to get it. I said, is the picture of me from when I'm a kid? I'm thinking, what second she says, yeah, I'm going to say, that's not me.
Yeah.
I know you're trying to look for it, but stay with me for a second here, because this is so weird. She said, and she's now, here's the problem that's killing me. She spent the weekend thinking I sent that.
Oh, God.
And I can never get that time back no matter what she knows. Oh, I understand it wasn't you, whatever. She spent a whole weekend thinking I called her fat, old, die, get cancer, I'm going to sue you, vicious, horrible stuff. So I can never, and I'm telling her, and I can see she's not 1,000% won over to the fact that it's not me, that I don't even know what she's talking about. So here's what she does that does enough for me to make it kind of her fault in a way. She says, enough to let me kind of off the hook, if you will. She says, well, I said, I'm not on Instagram. She goes, well, go to Danny Bonaducci at Instagram.com. Is that right? Is that what it is?
There's about a dozen fake Danny Bonaducci.
There's over 20.
Yeah.
One is Danny Bonaducci's butt. One is Danny Bonaducci's left butt cheek. One is Danny Bonaducci's dude ranch. But
my gosh.
Almost 20 Danny Bonaducci's on Instagram.
Yeah,
and I'm trying
I
to
just
tell
see
this lady,
regular
I don't even own
Bonaducci.
DannyBonaducci.com. That's
Right.
not me.
Yeah.
I even know those people. I told you this before. They won't give it back, but they don't do what this person did.
They don't say mean stuff. They don't attack
but
people.
she could have done the investigation that I just did, and I don't even know what I'm talking about. She could have found out, there's 20 Danny Bonaducci. One of them's his butt, and the other one's a dude ranch. So this is possibly not Danny Bonaducci. But so no matter how this shakes out, though, I can't get over that she spent a weekend thinking I'm that guy.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Because the words, and I don't know, are you seeing what that guy sent out?
I'm not seeing, because I'm not sure which one it is. There's so many.
I'm
of
on
them.
hashtag Bonaducci, and there's tons of pictures of you, your kids,
Yeah.
you as a child, you with listeners, your ex-wife, and Tupac.
I'll tell you this. My ex-wife is not a mean person, so she didn't do it, but I'd be willing to bet money she's one of the 20. But,
She's on here. I can see your ex-wife has her own name.
right, but she's not Danny Bonaducci.
No.
Yeah,
she's
no,
Archie
everybody has an
Bonaducci.
Instagram. This nice lady has Instagram. Don't you guys have Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
There's a
lots of
whole
people.
account of you just with food.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, that's-
it's
I
called
know that person.
Danny Bonaducci
That's
food.
my son's ex-girlfriend.
Oh, really?
Bonaducci food porn. And I didn't really understand what they were doing. I thought it was a comical thing. So they'd say, pose like this, putting a hot dog in your mouth. And I wouldn't. I went, then later Amy says, hey, man, maybe you shouldn't do this. But anyway, so here's the moral of this story. First of all, this is why I said I'm flattered, I guess. There's a reason people are doing that. There's a level of success I have attained from, that's why I thought there'd be a bunch of old, 50-year-old Danny Partridge pictures to this radio station, to other radio stations, from 7 TV shows I've had. So I guess, thanks, but I'm not sure.
A bicyclist died in a crash early this morning on State Route 161 near Military Road South in Milton. According to East Pierce Fire and Rescue, the victim is a man in his late 20s. There were no witnesses. This accident was reported just after 2:30.
Was he hit by something?
Hit and run.
Oh, okay. Wow. You said a guy, because I ride a bike, and you said a guy died in a crash. I thought my ineptitude would break my arm, not kill me. But okay, so this guy was hit and run, no less.
Hit and run, but police have no leads on the fleeing vehicle. They do not have make, model, description, nothing. And of course, they're looking for witnesses, but 2:30 in the morning on State Route 161, it's unlikely, unfortunately.
It's also most likely now you're talking about a guy who either is impaired or believes himself to be impaired.
Yeah.
Going to flee the scene, going to go home, going to get alcohol out of his system in the next 6-7 hours, then go to police station and say, I was filled with shame, let me turn myself in, and there'll be no proof that he was ever intoxicated.
State Patrol had to close all southbound lanes of State Route 161 for this investigation, but Derek will keep you posted on traffic throughout our area as the morning continues. A climber died after falling from a ridge on Oregon's tallest peak yesterday, and at least one other injured. Crews were able to rescue those who were stranded on the steep slopes of Mount Hood. Dozens of rescuers were called into action to try to help those climbers, but one person did not survive. They were able to airlift them out thanks to a Black Hawk helicopter, but that person did not survive.
You know, for the pictures, it might as well have been Everest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're saying local Mount Hood climbers, and you think, oh, you know, Sunday climbers, Sunday athletes, if you will. But when they show you pictures of it and you haven't identified them on the treadmill, and they don't identify it as Mount Hood, it could have been Everest, it could have been K2. This is very serious climbing, Mount Hood.
There's so much snow this season too, and it's a dangerous mountain. It's not as dangerous as Rainier, but since they started tracking this stuff, 100 people have died climbing Mount Hood.
100 people on Hood, really?
Yeah.
And a lot of them still there?
No. It's to my knowledge, it's not to that nature. Rainier, I think we only have a handful of people who did not. The bodies did
That
not
are
get
still
rescued.
there? Only a handful of dead guys?
Well, we've
Seems
had
like a lot.
300
Seems like a lot more than none.
300 deaths on Rainier, approximately. So comparatively, 100 to 300. But I know that it took them, I think, 2 years to recover somebody from Rainier. There may or may not be a couple people still there, but for the most part, they know where they are. It's not dangerous to go get them.
If I die climbing a mountain, and I want to make this right now at 6:02 a.m. on a Wednesday morning, and that is if I die on an ice-covered mountain and it is inconvenient to get me, leave me. But also, if I die on an ice-covered mountain, climb up and draw a wiener on my head and then leave me there. What was I doing up a mountain anyway?
Yeah,
Although,
there's some foul play involved there because you would not ever
no.
voluntarily
Exactly.
climb
I fell
a
out
mountain.
of a plane.
Yeah.
That's exactly. Why is he in a t-shirt? That's so weird.
Officers patrolling businesses in Seattle's Sodo area caught a burglary suspect red-handed, according to police. They say that two officers were checking on businesses on South Spokane Street at 5 in the morning when they noticed a fence around one of the businesses had been cut. Officers requested backup. Then they spotted the suspect inside the fenced area looking for something with a flashlight. More officers arrived at the scene. They were able to locate the suspect, who was then taken into custody. Officers have been checking these areas late at night, early in the morning, because there has been a lot of burglaries, and his flashlight gave him away. A Bothell woman has many reasons to celebrate after winning a $50,000 Powerball jackpot while she was giving birth to her first child.
Whose name is Lucky.
That would be cute.
It's not a terrible name, too. Lucky.
Yeah, I like it.
Unless your last name is Luciano.
Right, that'd be a bad name.
She purchased a Powerball ticket from QFC in Bothell, but she was too busy to check the winning number because she was in labor. She told her husband...
Did they stop like on the way to the hospital? Like, honey, Powerball, I got to grab a ticket.
You're a dad. I mean, you would know. Oftentimes they say when you go into labor, you've got another day.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you have another 3 hours,
Right.
and sometimes not even that.
But still, you got enough time to stop by 7-Eleven
Yeah.
and pick up a lottery ticket.
Well, she was in labor, and then afterwards, her husband checks the numbers. And he's like, we won. And she said, I'm really tired. Can I just go back to bed? And when a couple days went by and she had healed up, they went and collected their payment and said this will help with the hospital bills and diapers.
Yeah.
Okay, if not Lucky, how was the child delivered?
Hospital.
No, but I mean regular, because
did not
otherwise they could name it
disclose.
Caesar.
Oh,
After cesareans.
Yeah.
A federal district judge in New York yesterday became the second to block President Donald Trump's efforts to end the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, DACA. Judge Nicholas Graufius said at U.S. District Court for New York that the Trump administration had not offered legal adequate reasons to end the program. Because of this, people can still be processed under DACA and get status. Of course, this isn't the last we'll hear of it, but this is the second judge to say this is not legal.
Right. I believe it's 800,000 people that are affected by this. It seems like real quick, go register for whatever you have to register, because even the president has said there is some sort of pathway to citizenship. Get on that path immediately. Unfortunately, you can't. If you haven't applied yet, if you're not a current dreamer, you can't cross the border and get on this train. But the guys that are on this train, because I think this is disgraceful trying to wipe this out. DACA is a great program. I think you should get on the money and get going.
Well, his concern is that you don't automatically get protection if Donald Trump is successful in reversing it. So even if you're on that list, somebody who doesn't even speak the language of their country of origin could still get deported.
Never been there, as far as their memory serves.
Yeah. Strange story from the BBC. They say that a day-long meeting set to take place in London will have a wider governance consideration on its agenda. They are going to be talking about what happens after the Queen dies. That's rude. It seems a little rude, but she is in her early 90s.
Yeah.
But is she just turned 93?
What? I'm on that. I talk about what's going to happen when my mom dies. She's the same age as the Queen. I'm not making any arrangements for it. I'm mostly trying to talk my sister out of jumping off a cliff.
Yeah. But you have private closed-door meetings. You don't announce a big public. Let's all get together and talk about what happens when she's dead.
Here's a little thing about that. I am on the radio and just said it. So I'm not completely private about it.
They're taking a look at the Commonwealth and who is going to have the head of the Commonwealth. 53 member states, most of them part of the British Empire, including Rwanda. You kind of forget that it's not just England. And there are
Wales, Scotland, Ireland, and
Canada,
then a bunch of countries
Australia.
I don't know. Is Canada still an official territory?
Yes.
Wow. I know the Queen's on their money.
Bahamas. Come on, pretty mamas.
Aruba, Jamaica, who I want to take you. I don't think it's all of those ones, though. You're just going.
Yeah, I understand.
They are talking about what's going to happen next. And according to some diplomatic cables that were leaked by WikiLeaks, they believe that it will not be Charles, that they are thinking it's going to bypass him, that he will go along with it because of all the pressure.
I always thought that. Well, not always, but for the past several years, I've always thought it would never be Charles. He's married to Camilla, which is not a good thing. He's divorced, which is not a good thing for those guys. He was a public spectacle, even though his wife, Lady Di, was much more of the spectacle. And most people forget this about Lady Di because everybody loved her so much, including me. I thought she was great. But she's a lunatic, Lady Di. Do you remember those crazy ranting interviews that she would do and just make stuff up? And nobody hassled her because she was such a victim. And then my husband did this, and then I saw that rhino fly. And went, okay, whatever. Rhinoceros don't fly, but don't tell Lady.
The U.S. Embassy in Moscow currently has the address of Bolshoi Dvoryatsky Lane. But if a Russian lawmaker gets his way, that address, again, U.S. Embassy in Moscow, the address would be North American Dead End 1.
Well, no, you can't do that.
There is a spat going on over street names that began in Washington, D.C. The Russian embassy sits on Boris Nemtsov Plaza.
Oh, yeah, Boris.
Which is in recognition of the Russian opposition figure who was murdered 2 years ago.
By Putin.
Allegedly.
No, not allegedly. Come here and defend yourself if I'm lying. Putin murdered people personally.
Well, Russia didn't like that. What do you mean you're going to put our embassy on Boris Nemtsov Plaza? And so they said, okay, fine. You're going on North American Dead End Street. And there's now a battle over whether Moscow is going to officially change its name, and America's not real happy about that.
I think Moscow should change its name to Steve. Just because it's hard to keep up with what they do. I call them commie bastards all the time because it's fun. they're not communist
No,
in
they're
Russia.
not.
You know, and it's just they jump around like crazy. Since 1917, they've been like 9 different things, and the latest one is non-communist Moscow. Seems weird to me.
They're not communists and they don't stand at bread lines.
Right.
Or potato lines. Bread lines.
Red lines. Are you sure about that one?
Positive.
Right.
But they said that back in the olden days, potatoes were for the super rich. And then as time went on, all of a sudden, potatoes became the food of poor people.
It's also for vodka.
Sure.
Yeah. And they'd still stand in vodka lines, right?
I would stand at a vodka line if I was allowed to drink.
Yeah, they've got a lot of disposable income in Russia now. And there's a lot of wealthy people that
Lot
are
of-
the
but
oligarchs, so regular middle class.
Yeah, but it's a poor country. It's
Yeah.
a very poor country. So when you say, well, there's a bunch of billionaires that live there, they're criminals. They're all in illegal oil and things like that.
Right, but their middle class has risen, which is what makes these changes pretty significant, is their middle class has become very powerful. And, of course, you go to the outlying areas, there's a lot of poor people, just like our country, which is why Bill and Melinda Gates this morning said that they are refocusing their foundation to poverty in America because we have so many people who are in poverty
You
levels.
know what I believe that to be? That Bill, who I think are fabulous people. I think they want to do good things just to do good, but they live up the street. So I think they get up in the morning, hop in the family Rover or whatever it is, and they see 1,000 tents in parks, in parking lot, on the roof of malls, in parks across the street. I'm looking at them right now,
yeah.
and I think they went, hey, man, maybe we should bring that home. And I think it's a really good idea.
Plenty of people are paying good money for treatments that remove imperfections from their faces. A lot of people willing to get laser treatments done.
If I had one
facials.
imperfection in my face, I would have it altered. But who's going to mess with this work of art?
Well, now people are forking over cash to get rid of blemishes on their behinds. Butt facials.
Butt facials. Well, I've had
that
a few
really
of
what they're
those.
calling
I
it?
don't know that we're talking about the same thing. You ever had a butt facial, Paul?
I have not.
Oh,
no.
Those cost a lot of money at the
Never
strip
had the
club.
pleasure.
I should have gone to you, Derek.
Butt facials are being offered in spas across the country. The treatment promises to give rears a deep cleaning, flush out toxins, and prevent skin sagging.
I don't care how good this little treatment is. Can you imagine trying to get the things off of my butt? There's
All
like
those
27
tattoos.
tattoos on there.
It goes by the names like Shiny Hiney, Fanny Facial, and it costs about $170. Now people
Shiny
say
hiney. I like
Shiny
that.
hiney.
That's the winner.
Well, now, what is the thing when people bleach it?
that's totally different.
Bleaching buttocks or something, right?
No, they're bleaching someplace else, a little more specific back there.
Yeah.
This is your buttocks. These are butt cheeks.
These are cheeks, yeah.
I got that in my forehead.
Buttocks?
Buttocks.
No, that's Botox.
To keep the wrinkles out.
That's a little
Got
different.
buttocks.
We can't give you a shiny hiney, but that's probably the next best thing. That sure sounds pretty fantastic.
Yeah. And you might want to get your hiney shiny before you go. It's a big deal.
Right.
That's
Let's be
Ed
honest.
Sheeran going to say if you have a dull hiney.
Yeah, you know the first place who started offering this was Los Angeles.
Oh, of course.
Sure.
A father on this in a city has now, and this is Chicago, has accused his wife of feeding their child bleach to help cure the child of autism.
Well, I don't think that works.
It doesn't, but experts say a lot of parents have been using Google to try to find so-called miracle cures to help with autism. Now, you remember when, what's her face with the blonde hair?
Jenny McCarthy.
Jenny McCarthy. When she found out her kid was autistic, she blamed everybody and their grandmother, but she claims that diet has changed his life.
Right, but okay, let's get back to Jenny. Jenny was an active don't get your kid
Vaccinated,
vaccinated.
yeah.
Yes. Right. God, I hate her for that.
This is sadly a popular treatment at this point.
What is?
Bleach. Miracle.
I don't agree with that statement.
Miracle Mineral Solutions. According to the IMPD, the Department of Children's Services have taken the kid away, and they said that there are people who have been warning about companies marketing products which effectively are bleach, saying you can use this miracle product. There was a guy we talked about last week who was touting this miracle product. It can cure everything. old age, dementia.
Yeah, snake oil salesman.
Yes, but what's inside the snake oil is bleach.
See, that's the weird thing, though. In snake oil, literal real snake oil for the salesman, that this will cure everything. Come on down, ladies and gentlemen, ride your bicycle. Those guys, nothing can hurt you in it. It's salad oil.
Yeah.
Why would you do something that could kill your customers?
Yeah. It's very, very watered down. Health officials say that these products, these miracle mineral solutions, they claim to even cure hepatitis and cancer, are little more than bleach. The Applied Behavioral Center for Autism said this is very common and y'all need to stop.
Wow,
There is no miracle cure. Unless you listen to Jenny McCarthy and you put your kid on a banana diet.
There is such emotion that goes with things like that. Like when, and I hate to use this guy, but I can't think of anybody offhand. Remember Charlie Sheen drinking goat blood in Mexico?
Yeah.
Because he's got AIDS and he's going to
Desperate.
die a horrible death. And some guy says, hey, no, you won't. And here's the weird thing. The science got good so fast. No, he won't. Matter of fact, he'll live a long and fruitful, well, I take back fruitful, but he'll live a long life. But when somebody says, no, it's a new thing, take a bicycle spoke and put it in your eye and you won't have
do it,
cancer.
yeah.
Well, you do it.
Yeah.
You skip that chemo.
Yesterday, we had a story about the woman in Oregon who had gotten cow worms in her eye.
Yeah.
Grossed out everybody coast to coast. Well, now a man named Sam Cordero, who couldn't shake the feeling that he was living with an invader. He said he would see a little black dot only in the left eye. I'd see something moving from left to right. He finally went to the doctor. He had a brain-eating parasitic worm living in his left eye.
Well, that's bad, right?
It went from his bloodstream, it went in his stomach, through his bloodstream, and up into his eyeball.
So did he eat it? Is that how it started?
Raw pork, undercooked pork. Which
That's still happening?
I didn't think that happened
I
anymore.
thought that whole trichinosis thing was gone.
He got this from eating undercooked pork. And for some reason, these worms like the brain. So they always try to travel to the brain.
It's weird that when you prepare it, you don't see it. I bought a piece of fish locally. I probably told you about this, and it was just covered in worms when I got it home. And so we called and they said, oh, no, just cook it. They'll die. What?
So
No,
Yeah,
it's so,
I'm
it's
not gonna
so
trust you on
gross.
that one.
So I guess the thing was they know you've got the worm in the pork because when you were talking about a wild boar story yesterday, the giant big. Do you know they're almost all infested with terrible worms? You really can't
Really?
eat the wild boars anymore unless you know how to cure them with the worms once they're slaughtered.
Gross.
Yep.
And you wonder sometimes why people are vegetarians.
Yeah.
A man is facing felony charges after he fired 2 gunshots at his son when his son turned down his father's radio.
What was he listening to?
Good call, man.
Yeah.
Timothy Aspan, age 63.
You swear to God, somebody shot at Aspan.
No, that's the shooter.
Oh.
He shot the younger
His-
Aspan.
Dad had a different name.
Asweed took a shot at. No, I can't even. It's all going to be dirty.
Timothy Aspan is age 63, and he was at the home that he shares with his 38-year-old son when he was trying to sleep. Dad had the radio on. He went in and turned it down. Dad did not like that.
Right.
Went into his son's bedroom, pointed the gun at his head. When Aspan Jr. tried to leave, he put him in a headlock and said, "I'm going to flipping kill you."
What an ass pan.
Yeah, totally.
Aspan has been told to surrender.
It's funnier when she says it, I
Yeah.
think.
Timothy has been told to surrender his gun while he faces charges.
So he didn't. He fired 2 shots though, right?
He did.
and he
did
didn't
not
hit the
him.
guy.
Yeah.
And I still, if you're healthy enough to wrestle your 38-year-old son, and or vice versa, you probably shouldn't be living with your 38-year-old son. You should have a house. That's what is it? 5 years away from me. I don't need a guy. I don't need a fellow ass pan in my house turning down my radio. Get a job.
How about a nice story in the news?
Love that.
All right. There is a man named Lewis who had gotten a job at UPS. He's 21 years old. He's a single dad and needed to provide for his 14-month-old daughter. He gets a job at UPS despite the fact it would require an 11-mile walk every day. He'd get to his 4 a.m. shift on time, and for months, he made this trek 11 miles every day.
Wow.
One day, his coworkers at the UPS
Is
facility...
it 5.5 miles each way or 22 miles?
5.5 miles each
Jeez
way.
Louise.
That's a long way.
And how old's this guy?
21.
Okay.
But by the time he got to work for an
He's
8-hour
23.
shift, he was tired. But one day, They said, Lewis, your coworkers, we need to go into a union meeting. Let's all go in there. And that's when they showed him a brand new car.
Oh, that's nice. A lovely
Somebody
story.
had found out that he was walking behind his back, got everybody at the UPS location to chip in money and buy him a new car.
I'd have done that.
Yeah.
If I had found out most of the people around here were walking 11 miles a day every day, I'd chip in.
Yeah. I mean, and it happens occasionally, but it's always nice to have a nice
It
story
is.
in the news.
Very nice.
Because it's time for today's Things Are Not Right in Florida story of the day.
Yay.
Yay. Got a little yayed early. Premature yay.
It happens
Danny.
sometimes.
Are you looking to stay at the Green Roof Inn?
Yeah.
No, probably
No.
not. Probably not.
Is it in Florida?
Yes.
Then no.
Does it actually have a green roof? I bet not. It
Yes.
does? All right, I'm
Yeah.
going.
Well, you've heard of the Red Roof Inn.
Yeah.
That's where you can stay. But the Green Roof Inn is what they have started calling the jail.
Oh.
They bought a neon sign that has now gone viral. They put it up on their Facebook page in Florida with a blinking vacancy light.
I guess it's funny. Cops, oh, you said the humor.
They want people to know there is no privacy. It's group bathrooms and there is no meal selection, but you will get free transportation to court and state prisons.
Oh, there you go. Very nice. Do you know what county in Florida?
This is Flagler County.
No, never spent the night there.
Oh, Danny. I mean, oh, Florida.
Florida.
When we come back, you won't believe what massive rock star has a theory about the 27 Club, so much so that he's writing a book.
Okay.
Friend of yours. A huge update to the future of a hockey team in Seattle, some changes for the Sounders, and big Seahawks news next in sports.
This traffic report is brought to you by Staples. On State Route 161 southbound at 28th Avenue South, there is a collision blocking all lanes, so try to find an alternate route through that area if you can. And in Marysville on I-5 southbound between 88th Street and Highway 529, seeing some slow traffic causing some minor delays. Let Staples help you this tax season with everything you need for less, from storage boxes and filing supplies to software like QuickBooks and TurboTax. And right now, get up to $15 off when you buy TurboTax. Ends 2/17/18, excludes TurboTax Basic. Staples, it's pro time. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Sherry's Restaurants. It's going to be another brisk day today with highs in the mid-40s. A couple light showers this morning, but we should be seeing some sun around 11 a.m. It's currently 38 in downtown Seattle. How many pancakes can you eat? Introducing Sherry's Endless Pancakes. Get all the fluffy buttermilk pancakes you like for just $6.99. Upgrade to a combo with eggs, bacon, or sausage, hash browns, and Sherry's Endless Pancakes for just $9.99. Visit Sherry's.com for a location near you. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
In music news, Gene Simmons has a theory about the 27 Club.
You little minx. I thought it was Meatloaf.
Yep.
Yes, I did.
You really thought it was Meatloaf?
I totally thought it was me. She said a huge music talent, or a thing that would make you think a big kind of swollen dude. And then it gave some conspiracy there. Meatloaf's gone crazy. Remember, we had him in Philly, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah, and he was, and I just, when he left, I said, hey, is it just me or is Meatloaf crazy?
A little crazy.
All right, so here we go. Gene Simmons now.
Gene Simmons has a theory about the 27 Club, and he's going to share it in a new book.
Oh, he's going to sell us something?
I for one, am shocked.
The book is called 27, The Legend and Mythology of the 27 Club. Gene Simmons will explore the phenomenon of famous rockers who have passed away at 27, including Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, Kurt Cobain, Amy Winehouse. He said, "This is how the rumor of the 27 Club, the idea that there is something fateful, myth-worthy, or even cursed about turning 27, the book begins. Why do we find ourselves obsessed with the untimely deaths of the famous and infamous? Is the 27 Club just compelling urban legend? What does 27 as an age really mean for our most beautiful and damned?"
Okay,
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm hooked a little bit.
Yeah?
Except this by Gene, who bugs me so much.
Right.
But I'm interested. Now, I have the number 1111 tattooed on my arm because it was the myth is that that's when Amy and I first kissed. I looked and I saw the clock was 1111. And so on, and then we sang 1111, I love you, and it turns out, and it might be you that told me, Sarah, everybody sees 1111. There's a name for it,
I
actually.
wouldn't winky all over that.
But no, there's
beautiful
an
story.
actual name for the thing of why the numbers 1111 on a clock and things call you to look at them. So it's not a thing, although I've got the tattoo. Is 27 actually a thing? If we Googled some way rock stars that died at 28, are there going to be as many? Or 33? Jesus died at 33. What club is that?
That's a good question, and
Thank you.
don't think there is. I don't think there are a whole slew of very famous people that all died at 28. I mean, there is a 27 Club for a reason, but is it just coincidence? Did
Or
Kurt
something
Cobain kill
more.
himself so
To
he
be
would
part
be
of
at
the club?
27?
Wow. You know, that thing couldn't get more tragic, and then it did.
Yeah.
Young man like that, top of the world.
Well, if you would like to buy this book by Gene Simmons, it is set for release on August 14th.
Okay.
Don't buy the audiobook. Can you imagine Gene Simmons reading that book
God,
to you?
for hours in that slow, horrible pace.
If you want to go on that awesome trip to our iHeartRadio Music Awards in
And
Los
I do.
Angeles.
Yeah, I do too.
Well, y'all ain't eligible, but everybody listening is. You've got another chance to win 8-10 this morning and a few more times throughout the day. Just keep listening for the new keyword and your cue to text for your chance to win.
All right. It's very cool.
Very,
and you get to go to
very
the iconic forum,
Yeah. Sounds awesome.
which I can't believe they didn't implode yet. There's not been a thing in there since they built the Staples
Well,
Center.
its structural integrity is still there. Don't be worried to go to this event.
No, you'll be fine.
Netflix continues its aggressive push into comedy by teaming up with Chris Rock for his first stand-up special in a decade. Would you like to hear a little bit?
I think this guy is a genius. Yes, I would.
All right.
People are like, where you been? Just trying to raise some kids. Because I got black kids. I got to get them ready for America. It's rough out there for a black boy. So if you got a black son, you got to just punch him in the face. If you don't punch your black son in the face, that's child abuse.
Oh, my God.
I was married for 16 years. That's a long run. Hamilton won't last that long. I know it's hard being a cop, but some jobs, everybody gotta be good. American Airlines can't be like, most of our pilots like to land. We need justice for Chad. Stop telling your kids they special.
So that's the
I was
teaser
right, come
trailer.
on. Why ain't they special?
Yeah.
That's
the
the
guy's
teaser
brilliant.
trailer that Netflix released yesterday. Cleaned up a bit, right, Derek?
Yeah, I had to cut a few parts out.
But
Some swearing.
The guy is brilliant, man.
Yeah,
His take on
it really
things
is.
is great.
Absolutely. Now, he is going to be going through this, like Netflix, like a lot of comedians are choosing Netflix as the avenue. Chris Rock Tambourine will be starting to premiere today.
That's the name of the special,
Yep.
Tambourine?
Chris Rock Tambourine premiering on Netflix for today. That's the first we've heard of it. And
So I have Netflix on my TV.
Yes.
I can just click on that and get
how
Chris Rock.
amazing is that?
I know, it's so weird. I didn't do anything. It was just there.
What I found odd with Netflix is when you open it up, every single time there's something brand new. And it tells you, even if you go to the website right now, oh, brand new series from Netflix. Right now, you go to Netflix.com, it's going to say brand new comedy special from Chris Rock.
Yeah.
They're just printing money.
Yeah, they are. And they're sending it away, too.
Yeah.
Chris
Right.
Rock, didn't he get like 65 million or something?
40 million, I think,
40
for
million?
2 shows.
Crazy.
And you say, these comedians, they're really choosing Netflix. They're choosing a $40 million payday.
Yeah. LeBron James, you saw him in that Amy Schumer movie.
I did, and he was great.
Yep. A lot of people say that he certainly has other talents because he's a pretty darn talented basketball player.
But there's a couple of distractions about him to put him in a regular, like a TV show or something like that. He's 8 feet tall and got a crazy face. That's a crazy face. No
Yeah.
matter what you say, that's a crazy face.
Yeah.
Well, he also has a deal to be a producer. He has a TV movie kind of package deal
Right.
to do what he wants to do. And LeBron James is partnering with Donald Glover's brother. He is Childish Gambino.
Tough way to go through life. Donald Glover's brother.
His name is Maverick Carter, and this is the guy from the brother is Donald. He's Childish Gambino and the guy from Atlanta and Community. He's in the Han Solo movie. This is his brother.
I'm full on lost. Are they all the same guy?
That person is all the same guy with several names.
Okay.
He's got a brother who, from what we understand, is equally talented. His name is Maverick. He's partnering with LeBron James, and they are going to remake the 90s classic House Party. A lot of people
Was that a
loved
Kid and
House
Play
Party.
movie?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the Kid
I
and Play
love
dance?
that movie.
For the next time, maybe for Whiskey Rocks, you and I should learn the Kid and Play dance.
Okay, yeah.
Where you hook your feet.
Yeah, let's
I'm
do
in.
it.
I would pay money to see that, and I don't
Good,
think
we'll
I have
charge
to pay
you.
to go to Whiskey Rocks.
Yeah,
but I
Whiskey
would.
Rocks is coming up pretty quick. We might not have enough time to rehearse
Nothing
for
but
that.
time.
What's
The
the
hard
date?
part is getting you that haircut.
What's the date of Whiskey Rocks?
But March 10th.
March 10th. Are you guys have time?
Yeah.
That's almost a month.
I don't know. I feel like I need a couple of months to work out a Kid and Play routine.
We can do it. Do you know the
Plus,
dance? Have
I've
you
got to
seen
grow
dance?
the hair out,
Yeah.
and that's not easy for me.
Have you seen the dance?
Yeah, no, I know
That's a
it.
thing.
Well, they don't know yet if Kid or Play will be involved with this remake, but it should be pretty spectacular.
They still get along. They still speak, and I think they still have their money, but I'm not positive. I saw a thing on them on.
You've been following
Yes.
the careers of
No,
Kid
there-
and Play.
I don't know. I forget. There's a series of specials, and it was about hip hop, rap, and stuff like that. And Kid and
Gotcha.
Play had one. That's how I know they
Yeah.
had a dance. I
Yeah.
never saw Kid and Play, but they were very nice.
Well, you probably didn't realize that there were actually 5 of these movies that all had sort of different names, and a lot of them were straight to DVD. But House Party had 5 episodes, so to speak. 5.
Yeah, I remember
Incarnations?
House Party 2. I think I stopped watching after that.
Yeah. Hey, Derek, how much money does Kid and/or Play have?
So one of them apparently has a net worth of $100,000, and the other
That
one.
means, okay, just so you know, that means they have nothing, and that's
Yeah.
the last thing they say. I think is 100,000.
Well, the other one has 300,000.
Which is almost nothing.
Almost,
Oh,
yes.
but that might actually represent 300,000, which is not nothing. 300,000? I don't know many people with that in the bank.
Chelsea Handler is going to a dispensary near you. The TV host and comedian said on Instagram that she is going to visit a weed farm and she has plans to start her own line of cannabis because that drug is the only flipping thing that has kept me sane since Trump was elected. Quote,
You are not a good
quote.
spokesman for something that kept you sane. I don't think that she's the actual deal on sanity.
She said that she wants to inform people that it is now legal in California, make sure people understand how much to take, because for people, even here in Washington and Colorado, you have said, Danny, that part of the battle is figuring out how much to take because you're
and
not
the
used
edibles,
to it.
absolutely, and when to take more. Because you could take an edible and nothing happens for now and go, well, it didn't work. Let me take some more. And just in the edible world, it can take 4 hours.
Yeah.
Well, and the last thing you want to do is take more and more and more. And next thing you know.
I have a bottle of apple cider pot soda in my fridge right now, but I'm on a diet and there's just too many carbs. I can't believe I can't get high because of carbs. What has happened to me?
More drama for the Palin family. Bristol Palin's husband, Dakota Meyer, has filed for divorce less than 2 years after they were married.
This whole thing is a giant I told you so. Everything this family does, a giant I told you so.
He's a Medal of Honor recipient. He's 29 years old. They got married after she got pregnant and
being the spokesman for abstinence, right? And then got pregnant.
Yep, again, the second time she got pregnant before being married. They have 2 daughters together, and he has now filed for divorce, and they are both blocking each other on social media.
I don't know that I was aware that he was a Medal of Honor winner. That's a thing. It wouldn't make me stop making fun of you, but I think I'd start if I don't really know anything about this guy. The Palin family are ridiculous to me. But if I was going to say something about this guy, like if he can't chew gum and walk or whatever I was going to say, I'd say, Medal of Honor winner. I'd at least throw that out there because that's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
And he seemed like the sane one among them.
Yeah. What do you get the Medal of Honor for? Well, I'm not assuming that you would know that right now.
I don't recall.
But you have to do a thing, right? You have to throw yourself on a hand grenade or something.
You got to save
You can't
some
fool
folks.
around. You got to carry Forrest Gump out on your back.
Right.
I cannot remember. Derek, let me know if you find anything.
And then find out Forrest Gump's net worth because that's important right now.
Forrest Gump's net worth.
Forrest Gump's net worth.
Very important.
Let's take a look at sports.
Sports.
Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Some great news locally in sports. A group led by billionaire David Bonderman and Hollywood producer Jerry Bruckheimer yesterday filed an application for an NHL expansion team to play at the new revamped Key Arena. They are part of the Oakview group that went forward with the renovation of Key Arena. They paid for this huge fee to apply. Now, the caveat here is that this is for an expansion team. We thought maybe it was going to be for an existing team looking for a new home.
Right. Of which there are a couple, right? That you think should be moved. You're our hockey guy.
Yeah, the NHL has alluded to several teams moving, but that doesn't mean we're getting the team.
Right.
Because Canada wants a team.
Yeah, but and no kidding, because I say just grand things all the time. We're Seattle. Why would you do anything but give us what we want?
Right.
We're Amazon. We're dot everything. We're shut up. We're going to change the atmosphere because we're going to send rockets into Uranus or whatever we're going to do. Oh, that's probably a weird one right there. But you know what I mean? We're Seattle. Why not give us stuff? It makes sense. We have the money to pay for your team. We'll buy T-shirts and candy and whatever.
Yeah, the only problem is that Canada lost a team, and their concern is that if a team leaves its home, that it might go to Quebec. So we would then get an expansion team, which is a lock.
Right.
If we get this application, everything done, if the league does decide to expand in 2020, we'll get a team.
All right. First of all, Quebec chooses not to speak English. I'm against them. Why would you not speak English? It's like you're not from Uganda or somewhere. You're going to speak another language. You're North America. Speak North American, for God's sakes. What's going on? But I'd like to make something perfectly clear because, I don't know, I think everything I say is really important. And that is that I was not behind the revamp of Key Arena. I wanted a big stadium downtown. Now that that's unlocked, that's really happening. I'm behind it 100%. You should make it as fabulous as possible. Yeah. And I will go to your hockey games and whatever. Because now that we're doing that, because all I did was lose. I was for an arena downstairs. I lost. Okay, now I'm in. I'll go to your new arena, revamped arena with your hockey team.
Well, that was the good news in sports. Now
I was railing about that, and that was the good news? All right.
On to the bad news. Defender Brad Evans is leaving the Sounders. He's one of the original members of the Seattle Sounders and announced yesterday he is parting ways with the club.
He was one of only 2 left. It's only going to be Ozzy Alonso now.
So is he going to go somewhere else or is he going to retire?
Nope, he is going to Sporting Kansas City.
Do you have to say it like that?
Yes.
Sporting Kansas City.
And as long as we're taking this opportunity, Defender, I didn't even know she was accused. All right, back to you.
He said via social media, can't say enough to my Sounders FC family and players who trusted in me and, of course, the city of Seattle for 9 years of amazing memories. We had a good run. I hope you continue to support your Rave Green soldiers through thick and thin. I'll be your future GM. So, nice.
He's been a great player, and he's been a captain for a long time of the team, but he's had bad injuries the last couple of seasons, so not played a lot.
He did stop playing at the end of last August because of that back injury, but... So we'll be seeing some fresh faces for the Sounders.
Yeah, and we'll be hearing a new radio home for the Sounders, our sister station right down the hall, 950 Sports Radio KJR.
Big get.
Oh, the guy Elon be doing it?
No, Ian will not.
What the hell's his name? I want to be his friend.
You
his
met
name
some
is Ian
random
Furness.
guy.
You bumped into him one time in the hallway and
You're
you've not stopped
obsessed.
talking about
Well,
it.
he's very attractive.
You don't even know his
And
name.
he's only 6'6" tall. I think it behooves me to
We
be pals.
went on the Chuck and Puck show, and you don't ever talk about
You don't know
them.
Chuck and Puck at all, even though you spent a good half hour in their studio.
When?
This guy you bumped into once in the elevator.
All right, well, I thought he was a very nice man.
So
Are you trying to say he's a big guy?
I am trying to say that. I don't know what that meant exactly.
Very tall. I don't know what.
I
What
think
does that mean, Derek?
just said that. But let me just tell you what happened there, Derek. I was getting really caught up in what the hell I was trying to say, and then you freaked out, and now I'm better, and it's you.
Okay. On to the Seahawks.
All right.
Cam Chancellor says he intends to play. That is a published report. Cam Chancellor suffered a season-ending injury back in November, but said, according to Ian Rappaport of NFL.com, that provided he gets medical clearance, he will be back and for the Seahawks. He is 29 years old. He did sign a 3-year extension. He does have some injuries, but he says, I'm coming back, baby.
All right. I like him.
Yeah.
Well, not personally. I think he's a big crybaby, but I like watching him.
Well, somebody you do like is Pizza Manning.
I do. I love me some Pizza Manning.
Well, former Indianapolis Colts and Denver Broncos quarterback Peyton Manning was announced yesterday as the honorary pace car driver for Sunday's Daytona 500 in Florida.
Now, do you really drive when you're the honorary driver? Because I mean, I have a bunch of honorary degrees. So does Bill Cosby. We didn't go to your school.
I thought you actually got
Yeah,
to
I think you
drive,
actually get to drive. Yeah.
but not like 190
No,
or whatever.
I
it is
think
they
you get
drive.
to go like 110 or something. You veer off to the left, and real drivers go. By the way, good for him.
And Shaun White didn't just win the gold medal in the men's half pipe at Pyeongchang's Olympics. People are saying he has now cemented himself as the greatest snowboarder ever.
Yeah, he's like the GOAT, right? Full
That's
on.
what they're saying. He is the GOAT.
I watched it, and I got very confused as to whether I was watching it live or it's going to happen again tomorrow. What the hell was? But I was watching it
this
last night.
morning? Oh, last night.
Last night, and I saw him have the 95 or whatever it was. No, 93.
95.25 and then a 97.75.
And then he's like, he's a lock. It's bitching. And then the Japanese kid got 95. And now he has to go. And then he falls.
Yeah.
He's
This is
30 years old.
dramatic.
These other kids are little tiny kids like the gymnasts. They're 4 feet tall and fly through the air.
Yeah.
So real life grown man, 30-year-old man. And I thought, but he was locked to silver. So I thought, okay, fine. He's got 2 golds and he's going to get and he goes out there and does like a 98 or something. And I had the same heart feelings as when I'm watching 2 fighters that I know or that have a 0 defeat record. You know, my heart races and stuff. And then he won. It was like a big deal at Casa de Ducci.
Yeah, it was exciting.
It
It
was
was a
exciting.
big deal for America. This is
Yeah, it was probably good for America too, but I had fun.
he is the first American male to win gold at 3 separate Winter Olympics.
Wow.
He is actually making history.
There's so many sports where you don't get hurt at all. I just assumed one of those guys medaled.
Yeah.
Speed skater Bonnie Blair won gold in 88, 92, and 94. She is a woman. He is now the first male.
Well,
to
he
do
seems
so.
to deserve it. Did you guys see his smash in New Zealand? I believe it was.
Yeah, and he
Last
did that.
year.
Not
same,
that long ago.
Yeah, he busted his face up really bad. He did that same trick that he got hurt on in this run this year.
You can't make this story better, you
Yeah.
know, because I was ambivalent to the guy till this Olympics, and then I think he's great in every aspect.
His gold was also the 100th overall goal for the United States in the Winter Games. But as of this morning, Derek, where do the medal counts stand?
All right, as Paul likes to call them, the Germans are in first with 12 medals. Those nasty folks from the Netherlands have 11. The naughty Norwegians also have 11, and the curmudgeonly Canadians have 10. We are in fifth. The amazing Americans have 7 medals.
Everything you
USA.
say sounds like porn.
USA. USA.
Yeah, USA.
USA, man, absolutely.
College hoops action. UW Huskies against the Utes happens tomorrow at 6. The Cougars against the Buffaloes at 8. Gonzaga Bulldogs are facing the Lions at 6 tomorrow. And Seattle U's Redhawks play the Aggies at 1 o'clock tomorrow. That's a look at your sports, brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys at 1-800-DUIOA.
In Everett on I-5 southbound at Highway 526, we have an accident. We have an accident that is currently blocking the two left lanes. And on the West Seattle Bridge eastbound at I-5, you're going to hit some slow traffic because the ramp is partially blocked. This traffic report was brought to you by Staples. Let Staples help you this tax season with everything you need for less, from storage boxes and filing supplies to software like QuickBooks and TurboTax. And right now, get up to $15 off when you buy TurboTax. Ends 2/17/18, excludes TurboTax Basic. Staples, it's pro time. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
It is 7:02 a.m. And I'd like to remind you that coming up, a lot of frivolity will be happening right here at KZOK. But at 7:20, we're playing a game called Whose Hit Is It? And you can win yourself a pair of tickets to see Journey and Def Leppard at the Gorge. And it's one of the few places where the venue is almost as cool as the bands. Def Leppard and Journey at the Gorge.
Well, happy Valentine's Day, my friends.
Happy Valentine's Day to you.
Thank you for the flowers, you guys.
We're kind of
Is that a thing?
Yeah, I think. Yeah. I'm not positive. The second I said Happy Valentine's Day, I was looking at Sarah. I thought, yeah, maybe we should. She's a girl, man.
Yeah,
done something.
you look very nice. You're wearing your red sweater, and
Yeah.
two different people so far this morning have asked me, why aren't you wearing red or pink? Which
you
I didn't know
supposed
that
to?
was a thing
Of
on
course
Valentine's
you are.
Oh, I didn't know that. I
Not St. Patrick's Day.
My red rooster. I take all the fun out of everything, FCC. My red rooster is a coincidence, and my red shoes is unless she put it out.
I bet she put it out.
Oh, I didn't even think about it. She's a
Yeah.
girl. She might do such things.
I had
Instead,
no
Paul,
idea.
you're wearing green.
Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day today.
Yeah.
No,
But
it's Valentine's Day.
Is that this year? Is this the first time that you wear red or pink for Valentine's Day?
I'm not sure. I have a vague remembrance of when I'm a kid. You get pinched or something at school when you're not wearing
I've
red.
never heard it before.
Huh. Well, let's ask around. You've heard of it, Sarah?
I have, yes.
Derek, have you ever heard of it that you're supposed to wear red?
Absolutely.
Sarah,
Are you wearing red?
No,
Tori?
Not really, but I understand it.
Yeah, but you've never heard of it, so
get
we're
it.
not way out here because I don't know.
just because I've heard it doesn't mean I do it.
Right.
I'm not a follower. I'm a leader.
You know, we say that about you. We say Derek
Derek
is a
man.
true leader.
I would follow him to the jaws of death, the gates of hell. I would follow Derek.
But a lot of people today do take the time to express their love and affection for these people in their life. And, I sent little boxes of chocolates and Snoopy stuffed toys to my nieces on Valentine's Day,
Oh,
just
that's
trying to do something nice for them. They're still young. But I remember back, this must have been, 8 years ago, when Angelina Jolie and Billy Bob Thornton decided to express love by wearing a vial of each other's blood around their
Yeah,
necks.
that's gross. I don't trust Billy Bob Thornton's blood.
Ew. But what a weird show of affection. I love you so much, I'm going to wear your blood around my neck.
Yeah, I don't like it, but I don't know that I've done weirder stuff. I've done stuff certainly as weird.
As a show of love and affection?
Yeah, if you look real hard, and this is mostly from a teenager, I even hesitate to don't do this. I mean, nobody would emulate me anyway. You'd be high. But I have on more than one occasion either carved a girl's name into my arm with a knife or a razor, or I love you in a heart with a knife and or a razor.
Oh, my.
Well, I'm a Bonaducci. We do stuff like that, man. It's not happening unless it's bleeding.
Yeah, I would say that qualifies as a strange expression of love
You
or
think?
affection.
Yeah.
I do. Well, you guys listening, have you seen a strange expression of love or affection? What was it? Call, let us know, 800-252-1025.
The question is out there, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Have you ever seen a strange expression of love and or affection? Our phone number is 1-800-252-1025. Can you use really good ones that aren't strange, but they're so good that they're strange?
A strange expression of love can be good.
The
or
Taj
bad.
Mahal.
Oh,
Possibly one of the
that's nice.
greatest love stories ever. The guy's wife was dead. He could have told her, he could have gone to church and prayed and said, yeah, I'm going to build you this big thing, and not actually done it. But he built the Taj Mahal for his dear wife, who gave him, I believe, 14 children, if I'm not mistaken. A total thing. So I'll even take over-the-top good expressions of love or affection at 1-800-252-1025.
Now, Danny is the king of strange expressions of love and affection and or. Didn't you decide to brand your wife's name on your person as well?
That's crazy. Her initials. And I didn't really decide to. It was coming up in conversation about something I didn't approve of, about some ex-boyfriend I didn't approve of. And I said, it's not that big of a deal. Like, it was, by the way. It hurt like hell. And I unbent a paper clip in like 5 seconds, made it into a reasonable A, heated it up, held it with pliers, and boom, right on the keister, and screwed up somebody's name that was already tattooed there.
800-252-1025.
I bet that made her feel real love that you were putting it over someone else's name on accident.
The whole thing was a fight. So everything I did made her mad. And it was, I hate to admit it, she was right. I wasn't like, I love you so much, I'm going to do this. It was like, I hate you and all your ex-boyfriends so much, I'm going to do this.
800-252-1025. Have you ever seen a strange expression of love or affection? Danny's done a bunch of them, but we were talking earlier about Angelina Jolie and Billy Bob Thornton. They thought the ultimate expression of love was vials of blood.
You know, and maybe we should point out, by the way, it's Valentine's Day. Yeah, don't do anything over the top like I have done, but it'd be a good day to show some form of love and affection, ladies and gentlemen.
Paul, have you seen one?
Do you guys remember that lady? Lady.
Hey, lady.
Do you remember the name Lisa Nowak? She was an astronaut that drove from Texas to Florida in a diaper because she was involved in a love triangle with another astronaut, and I believe the other woman was like Air Force captain. And she drove from Houston to Orlando in a diaper to confront and attack the woman who she thought was trying to steal her man. No one has loved me enough to drive 950 miles in a diaper.
That's a thing. I mean, you can't stay with her, right?
Right, no.
But you do appreciate the effort,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's talk with Bill in Lakewood. Have you seen a strange expression of love or affection?
Well, I think so. I had a girlfriend one time who shaped her short curlies in the shape of a heart for me.
See, here's all right, I'll go with that. That's nice.
Yeah, I would say a strange expression of love or affection is Bill in Lakewood calling up and asking to talk to Tori.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? It tells you something about Bill. And I'm like, well, that's a thing. You know, you don't do that for a person that wouldn't appreciate it. Bill's probably a lot more fun than he sounds.
You think?
Thank you, Bill.
Tracy in Lakewood, have you seen a strange expression of love or affection?
Well, good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Hey, anyway, but you guys were bringing up the tattoo of a woman. Okay, I did that on my back about 8 years ago. My ex-wife got divorced, and now I got this tattoo on my back where it says my ex-wife's name and no more.
No.
Now I got to live with that.
Well, hey, there's a couple of things you can do. One, you could have it covered. I have a bunch of covers before I started not caring. And the other thing you can do is whether you're in love with somebody else or not, just add a couple of names around it. And then it's like, it says Sheila and Becky and Linda. Which one of them was significant? That's a good way to go.
I always find the strange expression of love or affection, and I know I'm going to be offending somebody listening, and I apologize, but people who get the tattoo of their child as a baby on them.
Yeah.
I find that to be a strange expression of love.
Why? I mean, yeah, you're right, but why?
Because they don't look like that for very long.
That's
and
the
then
point.
you just got some weird baby on your and your arm,
It's
and
not
the
a
kid's
weird
like, "Look at me, I'm
It's
all
your
out of
baby.
whack.
Baby, it's your baby.
I don't have any hair. I don't look like that anymore."
And plus, then when they age together because, you know, when they get to about their 70s, everybody's going to start wrinkling, if you know what I mean.
What about Jennifer and Everett? Have you seen a strange expression of love or affection?
Jennifer? Don't make me come to Everett. Although I love it there.
Jennifer? All right, let me tell you one that I thought was very odd.
All right.
Sharon Osbourne was with Ozzy, and somebody was not giving Ozzy the respect that she thought they deserved. So she went into his hotel room and went number 2 in his suitcase.
Yeah, see, I'm much like Paul loving the astronaut that does it. I would just love that. I've had girls, go way over the top. There's a girl, I hesitate to bring it up because I've mentioned it a bunch of times, but I got shot by a girl when I was 17.
And stabbed too, right?
And different girl. Wait.
But still, in the name of love.
But the other girls I didn't like. With this girl, I looked at her before she pulled the trigger, and I said, am I, because I knew I was a scumbag. I was wrong. A 6'4" girl named Susie Thunders had run out of the room in her underwear. And I said, am I worth spending the rest of your life in jail? Because that's going to happen. If you pull that trigger, you're going to go to jail for it. And she goes, yes. I loved her. And we got back together.
Wow.
We stayed together because I thought she was the
Amazing.
coolest thing that ever happened. Turns out she was crazy.
So you were shot and stabbed, right? Stabbed by
Yeah, but I'm
another
not
girl.
positive by the same girl.
In
And
the
then
name of love.
also bitten, not necessarily romantic love, but certainly
That
somebody,
girl at the casino?
a show of affection. Somebody liked you.
Setsko blew out the windows in our house with a shotgun.
You've seen a lot
But
of
here's the difference with
strange
me and
expressions
Setsko
of
and me and
love.
Lori. Me and Setsko, I thought, well, you're a lunatic. Thank God I'm divorcing you the second you get your green card. Lori, I thought she loved me more than anybody. And she said, no one will ever love you this much. And I believed her till I was like 20.
Was
Tori-
it love that led somebody to live in your garage?
No, craziness.
Crazy.
Craziness
Just
and
pure
there's
craziness.
certain handicaps.
Tori, have you seen a strange expression of love or affection?
I was just going to bring up this one about Bowie. So Bowie and Jagger, we all know, apparently slept together.
Yeah.
But I guess his wife at the time, Angie, walked in on them. And instead of getting all mad, she went and made them breakfast.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
I think first of all, which one am I going to be in this? Am I going to be Bowie?
Sure.
All right. I'm Bowie, and you walk in, and I'm doing it with Mick Jagger. Why would you ever get mad at that? Why wouldn't you go, this is the coolest thing ever? My husband's in there doing it with Mick Jagger.
You're going to high five him?
And I think if I
Okay,
had
wait.
time...
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You walk home from work today, and Amy is with Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
like, all right, I'll make you guys eggs Benedict.
And
I'm
do
going to
I-
come over and make them breakfast.
Is
What are
it-
you
am I
talking
allowed
about?
to- Can I get in on this? Or am I,
No.
either way,
Is
You're
that
not
even-
invited.
No, God love you.
Is that even a question?
Please tell me lots of stories when Taylor leaves. I want to hear all about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah,
She
so-
a good kisser?
Holiday and Taylor Swift
Yeah.
are having some action,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah,
are not
thinking about
invited. You walk in.
Yep.
You make them eggs Benedict.
Yeah.
Last night we're watching the Olympics, and this guy's interviewing Shaun White, who's my hero now. And they talk about he was out on tour, and I said to Amy, I said, I didn't know snowboarders toured. And she said, he's in a band. And I said, why do you say that? She said, it's just so stupid. I don't like him being in a band. Everybody you ever boned was in a band. Why can't Shaun White be in a band?
Derek, have you seen a strange expression of love or affection?
The first girlfriend I ever had was a Wiccan, and if you're not familiar with that, it's basically just a pretty name for witchcraft.
Yeah.
And- yeah, exactly. So I was hanging out with her one time, and she told me that the moon was in a soul cycle, and we were going to perform a soul bonding ritual together. And I got all excited thinking it was going to be something sexual and I was going to lose my virginity.
Yeah.
Boy, was I wrong. So it turns out she wanted us to throw a bunch of junk into a pot and then set it on fire. So she had like some sage and some other herbs, I suppose, and a feather that probably came from a dead crow in her front yard, a picture of us together, which I found odd that she was going to burn that.
Yeah.
And then the final ingredient, she said we were both going to drop some blood into what she called a cauldron,
Yeah.
I suppose. And at this point, this is the first time I can remember realizing that I'm very queasy around blood.
Right.
Because I thought it was going to be a simple poke of your fingertip and a little drop in there. No, she grabbed an X-Acto blade and sliced her thumb open and started, blood fountain shooting it
Yeah,
into
yeah,
the
yeah.
cauldron. Next thing I remember, I'm waking up and she's above me going, "Are you okay?" I go, "What happened?" She goes, "Dude, you passed out." And not to offend any Wiccans out there,
Yeah,
but
no,
this
you
is
wouldn't offend them.
complete BS because we broke up like 2 months later and she stole my puka shell necklace, which I'm still upset about, by the way.
Oh my God, you should be furious, dude. You should be furious.
Well, happy Valentine's Day, everybody, but it is time to play Whose Hit Is It?
Whose hit is it?
You can win a pair of tickets to see Journey and Def Leppard September at the Gorge. If you want to win, call right now, 800-252-1025. We are playing Whose Hit Is It for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Journey and Def Leppard September at the Gorge. To win, you will have to correctly identify whose hit it is. Here's a hint. It's either Journey or Def Leppard.
Well, why'd you do that?
That's a pretty big hint.
That's a huge hint.
Yeah.
Our
She's
contestant
probably
is
right, though.
Brian in
It
University
could be
Place.
Van Halen. That's why he played Van Halen.
I could, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Why not?
Hi, Brian.
Hi, morning.
Morning, Brian. How the hell are you?
Good.
Good. Couple quick questions, man. One, do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
I do.
All right, man. Do you understand the rules of the game?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. Whose hit, a power ballad released in 1987, gave the band their only number one single on the Billboard charts to date? The hit can also serve as a warning to all of us on Valentine's Day about the many dangers of love. If it bites, bleeds, brings you to your knees, lives, dies, begs, and pleads. Love sure seems like kind of a hassle to me, but in the end, it's probably all worth it. Can you tell us whose hit is it?
That would be Def Leppard, Love Bites.
You got it, man. That is the fact. Def Leppard. And I would like to
Nice,
give you some
Brian.
bonus points for my incredible dramatic reading.
That was really good. Were you choking up there a little bit? Like
No, I was-
a tear?
I was
or-
burping, but I tried to cover it, man. Thanks.
It helped. It was very romantic.
Oh, jeez. Congratulations, Brian. You are going to the Jeep winners window in our lobby to pick up your tickets to Journey and Def Leppard at the Gorge. The rest of us, you can join us again tomorrow at 7:20 for another round of Whose Hit Is It?
This traffic report is brought to you by Phillips Law Firm. In Redmond on Highway 202 eastbound at Shahaley Way, we have an accident partially blocking the right lane, causing some stop-and-go traffic. And in Everett on I-5 southbound at Highway 526, there's an accident blocking the shoulder, causing some minor delays as well. Auto accidents can happen anytime, all the time. If you or a loved one have been injured in a car accident, call Phillips Law Firm today for a free case evaluation. Call 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Many moons ago, somebody gave me a MyPillow and said, "Trust me, just try this out." And I said, you know what? I am very skeptical because I'm always been sleeping on a down pillow. I decided to give MyPillow a shot. And you know what I did? I threw away the down pillow. That thing stinks. Literally. It got flat, it got hot, and you can't wash them. Have you ever thought about that? How old is the pillow you're sleeping on? It is time to get a MyPillow. It's machine washable. You can throw it in the dryer. It is made in America. Plus, it comes with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. You're thinking about trying it, you're not sure? Well, try it. If you don't like it, you can send it back, but you're going to love it. Right now, they've got a 4-pack special going on, and if you use my promo code KZOK, you'll get 2 MyPillow premium pillows, 2 Go Anywhere pillows, half off. You need that promo code KZOK. Call them 800-304-4756. That's 800-304-4756, or go to the website mypillow.com. Don't forget the promo code KZOK.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Staples. We're looking at another chilly day with highs in the mid-40s. A couple light showers this morning, but we should see the skies clearing around noon. It's currently 38 in downtown Seattle. Let Staples help you this tax season with everything you need for less, from storage boxes and filing supplies to software like QuickBooks and TurboTax. And right now, get up to $15 off when you buy TurboTax. And $217.18 excludes TurboTax Basic. Staples, it's pro time. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
Stay right here, because coming up, it's the big news of the day.
Some of the big stories. The mysterious white powder being sent to politicians strikes again. We'll tell you who got it this time. A weird mix-up when it comes to reporting the Olympics. And one of America's most beloved games is getting a sequel.
Do you like or dislike cats? Whoa, we have our first mismatch. Okay, smoking.
The big news of the day is brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE, or you can go online to goldbergjones.com.
The Secret Service is investigating reports that a letter containing a white powdery substance, later identified as baby powder, was found in former President Barack Obama's office yesterday. The incident was reported just after noon, his office in Northwest Washington, D.C. Authorities say the substance came from a letter mailed from Hong Kong with no return address.
But to Barack Obama?
To Barack Obama. They are unclear if this is the same person who mailed the powdery substance to Donald Trump
I was going to
Jr.
say that I like the smell of baby powder. I think it's nice. It's clean as a baby's bottom.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, why are these guys all panicking? Just sniff it. And then I thought, who's going to sniff the powder that might be anthrax? Maybe this is me. So yeah, don't sniff it. That's going to be my motto in life. Don't sniff it. It's kind of like Nike, just do it, but mine's just don't sniff it.
But that wasn't always your motto.
No,
right?
no, I learned that motto. That's what was the motto with me. Once again. Yo.
Did you just sniff it?
Yes, I did.
That's just snorted.
I snorted it.
Chicago their ABC affiliate out there made a very embarrassing mistake while airing graphics during their coverage of the Olympics. Now, you know where the Olympics are taking place.
Yeah, they're in South Korea.
Yeah, more specifically.
Pyongyang.
Pyeongchang.
That place.
Pyeongchang is where the Olympics are being held. And the Chicago affiliate, the anchor Mark Rivera, is standing there giving commentary, talking about a story. And behind him, the graphic is for the Winter Games at P.F. Chang's.
Well, that's bad.
Maybe they're showing it there, though. That would be fun to go to P.F. Chang's.
I used to go to certain bars to watch the fights.
Yeah,
if I
right.
can go to P.F. Oh, man, it's 2 birds with 1 stone, and then serve those to me. I go to P.F. Chang's to watch the
Have
Olympics.
some lettuce wraps. Watch the U.S. win gold.
P.F. Chang 2018. It was the real deal Olympics
That's
graphics.
hysterical.
Yep. And they have now apologized. They said it wound
To who?
up to everybody because
P.F.
this has
Chang's?
gone viral. P.F. Chang's is loving it.
Yeah.
No, they've apologized to people and said this was a piece that we had done asking our people who work here to come up with their own fun idea for an Olympics. And they said,
Right.
oh, we'll have the P.F. Chang Olympics. And they accidentally used that graphic in the background.
Yeah, I think you owe an apology just because people are supposed to be able to rely on you. You're the news.
Yeah.
But I don't see any real victims in this.
No.
This is more of a
It's
sorry
embarrassing.
we're stupid.
Although
Yeah.
somebody's going to complain that it's racist.
Right.
We're not all Asians are the same, that kind of thing. But for the time being, nobody got hurt.
Yeah, they are just apologizing for being dumb.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
Very
yeah.
funny.
A preemptive, I'm sorry.
For some, hopping across the pond is about to get a lot quicker. Remember back in the olden days of air travel? There was the Concorde.
No, sure.
Well, now there is a supersonic jet that some are calling the son of the Concorde, and it is thought to be able to travel from New York to London in 3 hours.
Awesome.
They may be starting this to do transport for commercial airline passengers even sooner than you think. They call this the LBFD. NASA has created it as the Low Boom Flight Demonstrator.
I don't like the low boom.
That was the problem with the other Concorde, that and the fact that it crashed. But no, the boom.
Did the Concorde crash?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. Or maybe I knew and forgot because I don't remember the Concorde crash, but I remember the boom.
Well, I think that was one of the biggest issues is people who lived anywhere near that airport were
Right.
hearing the boom a couple
Boom.
times
It'd
a
rattle
day.
your windows and stuff.
The speed of sound is 767 miles per hour.
Right.
And the LBFD will fly at 1,074 miles per hour.
Jeez.
And this thing's real.
This thing is
This is not a practical joke. It's not covered in white powder.
I know that they have thought about bringing this back. I mean, it cuts it in half, the flight time from New York to
Yeah, it does.
London.
Maybe, yeah, that's about right. Yeah, I've had the pleasure of being on the Concorde
Really?
out here at SeaTac.
Yeah.
At the Museum of Flight.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, when I went inside the Concorde, I thought it was fascinating, but also very claustrophobic.
Yeah, and a little dingy.
Yeah.
By the time they retired these
Sure.
things.
But
Was it like $10,000 a seat?
it was insane.
Yeah.
And that was back,
Then.
15, 20 years ago. Trying to do the math. Yeah, probably 20 years ago. And so adjust it what it's going to be now. It's probably going to be crazy expensive.
Yeah, I was actually coincidentally, I guess, I was just on vacation in the Bahamas with my ex-wife. And just kapow. And we had no idea what that was going to be. And I said, that's a sonic boom. You didn't sound like anything else. You didn't go
Yeah.
bombs, guns. And when you went sonic boom, but you still didn't put it together. Like, what the hell is it? And then there came the Concorde.
I mean, we know that travel is going to change thanks to Richard Branson and Elon Musk.
Elon Musk, who works down the hall.
He does, yeah. 1 to 3 on Sports Radio 950 KJR. Elon Musk.
What's his real name? At least give him a good proper shout out.
It's Ian Furness, but
Ian
I like
Furness.
it. I like it better to think that there's some South African dude who builds rockets and also fills in doing sports.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
What comes after Uno?
Doso.
A big fight.
Dos. Uno. Dos.
I thought you meant the card game. Usually at
I
my
think
house,
she-
what comes next is a big fight.
I think she does mean the card game, don't you?
I do mean the card game.
Yeah, she does mean the card
So
game.
Dos comes after Uno?
Yeah.
Uno, dos, and then maybe Trace.
Who works on the Spanish station.
The classic card game has been unchanged for the most part since 1971.
Is that the one where you win and you yell Yahtzee? Because that would seem like that was Yahtzee.
You yell
Yeah.
Uno.
Okay.
Well, you don't even yell Uno when you win.
You yell
You know,
what
like
card
when you're getting close to winning.
Right.
Do you feel bad for me that I've never played or seen Uno my whole life?
Oh no,
Are you
you're
being
lucky.
serious?
I'm envious of you.
Really?
It's
Oh,
a
okay,
terrible
yeah.
game. It's not as bad as Yahtzee. Yahtzee's worse.
No, I know what Yahtzee is. I may have thrown those dice once, but never played that either.
Why are you saying it's a terrible game, Paul?
It's just not fun.
Because the kid wants
And
to
I
play
have
constantly?
to, and I have to play with my mom.
Is it?
My mom won't
My
quit
mom.
until she wins. So
Is
it's like
it,
3 o'clock in the morning.
Risk or Life that takes 9 hours to play? Do you guys know that one?
Both of those games,
Yeah.
I think. But Risk is the military one, and Life is like you go around the board collecting a kid and
People,
a job,
yeah.
and
For
Well,
only
with
that
Uno,
Alimony.
it's a straight-up card game.
Yeah.
And it has been unbelievably popular for 40-plus years. And now they have announced a sequel, the launch of Dos. It has a new objective and new rules, but it is the sequel to the card game Uno. The most obvious change is how you win. Points are added up and the cards are expelled from a player's hand, but you will have to call out Dos, and there's a couple other different rules, but they said this is the first introduction of a new card game in a long time.
Here's what I excuse me. Here's what I got off the news this morning, because I've never played these games. I don't know what it is. But you set down your cards 2 at a time instead of 1.
Mm-hmm.
oh,
That doesn't seem that fun to me. So how are you going to keep track of that?
Similar rules. Playmakers will make 2 piles of cards and can throw down 2 cards at a time instead of 1. Players can then in each turn lay down 1 card in their hand that matches the rows of the 1 or the 2 and add those up. They will have wild cards as well. But for a lot of people listening, you grew up with it or your kids are obsessed with it. It's something that young kids can play.
Ah, good.
Or older women like Paul's mom.
yeah.
Young kids or older women. It's a terrible demographic.
I did not say old woman. Older.
All
Nah,
right.
she's an old lady.
Yeah, she's an old lady. Have you ever seen her?
She
Jeez.
knows it.
Target stores will have first dibs on Dos at $5.99 starting on March 4th.
Okay, if it's even minorly amusing, $5 to buy something
Exactly.
these days, that's a good
Yeah,
deal.
why wouldn't you do it? And that's the big news of the day. It's brought to you by our friends at Goldberg Jones, Divorce for Men at 1-800-DIVORCE or online at goldbergjones.com.
All right, it's my favorite day of the week, and I will tell you why not, because it's hump day. As a matter of fact, the whole
day.
idea. See, this
What,
bothers the hell out of me.
what?
But coming up, it's Jelly Beans Joke of the Week.
And now, Jelly Bean's Joke of the Week.
Hey, Uncle Danny. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Can I tell Derek a joke this time?
Yeah, I guess.
Hey, Derek, what's the difference between you and a calendar?
I don't know, Jelly Bean. What is the difference between me and a calendar?
A calendar has a date for Valentine's Day.
Oh!
Zing! Got him.
Wow!
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye, sweetheart.
This traffic report is brought to you by Staples. We are seeing some delays as you make your way over the West Seattle Bridge eastbound at Del Ridge Way. A small delay there, not too bad. And then also in Redmond on Highway 202 eastbound at Sahaley Way. We also have an incident there that's partially blocking the right lane, causing just some minor delays. Let Staples help you this tax season with everything you need for less, from storage boxes and filing supplies to software like QuickBooks and TurboTax. And right now, get up to $15 off when you buy TurboTax. Ends 2/17/18, excludes TurboTax Basic. Staples, it's pro time. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
The time, 8:01, the date, Valentine's Day. Get on it. I'd like to tell you about Whiskey Rocks. As Sarah so accurately points out, this thing sells out every year. You should get your ticket in a hurry if you want to go. It's awesomely cool. Tickets are on sale right now for our third annual Whiskey Rocks. It's happening March 10th inside the Terrace Club at Safeco Field. I feel like saying nanny, nanny, nanny. But you can go there too. Buy a ticket.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic evening with over 100 of the finest whiskeys and bourbons from around the world. Great live music and more. We're the more. Get all the details at whiskeyrocksnw.com.
Well, here's an idea. It's Valentine's Day, and if you drop the ball and you didn't get your present yet, all you need to do is go to whiskeyrocksnw.com, get the tickets, and be like, hey, honey, we're going to drink whiskey together.
That's a great idea.
That's a great idea.
And he or she will love you forever. God, we are just solving everybody's problems
Look at
today.
us go. It's like bringing back Life Coach, except without the hassle.
Earlier in sports, we were talking about Shaun White and his historic win at the Pyeongchang Olympics.
Yeah.
He won a gold. He is the first American male to win a gold at 3 separate Winter Games.
I thought that was fake news when we first said it this morning, but that's in fact correct.
Yeah.
I thought somebody that you couldn't hurt, like a curler or something, had gotten 3 because you can keep coming back. You can be old. You can do a lot of stuff when you're curling or a like-minded sport. But no, Shaun is the first guy.
Yep, first guy. Speed skater Bonnie Blair did it in 88, 92, 94. But impressive, and a lot of people are saying this morning that Shaun White is the best snowboarder ever. And when we were talking about this, Danny, you welled up. You got so emotional.
I will tell you the absolute truth, and it's not because we have red hair or anything weird like that.
No, you don't look at him as a son.
You know, that I was the drunken tomato does not make me actually related to that guy. But I was watching it, and I don't know, the Olympics, and I'm this weird, proud American, I chant and I cheer, but for some reason the Olympics hadn't yet to grab me. And when I watched Shaun be way out in front, I wanted him to win because the third gold medal would have been cool. And then he fell. And then another guy from another country passed him, and he had to beat an almost perfect score. My heart was jumping. And when he was done, I don't know why I said this out loud in my own house. I said to my wife, I said, I am so proud of that guy right now.
Yeah.
Well, and it's
I was getting misty right there. Listen to my own speech. I give a good speech, but that was the truth. I was getting misty-eyed about how proud I was of this young man.
Well, and it happens a lot that you get very proud of someone else's accomplishments.
I do.
I mean, you can get proud of your own, but, every time the Blue Angels fly, I get that feeling as well. And I see all the time passing over the Puget Sound some sort of fighter jet, and I think they're going to Everett. And it's like every time I see it, I feel very proud of my country.
Yeah, proud to be an American. I walk around proud to be an American. You know that guy, I forget, Lee somebody.
Lee Greenwood.
Lee Greenwood. I'm proud to be an American
with
a song that brings a tear to my eye, by the way. But I am, but that's not, I can go, I was proud of myself when I got in the ring with a 250-pound, 6'6" Jose Canseco. But it was stupid. It was a stupid thing to do. But I told him, you can't knock me off my feet. And he didn't. And I swelled. I swelled because he beat my brains in. But I swelled with pride. So that's one with me.
Yeah.
But I'm proud of a lot of stuff. I'm a proud man.
Well, you guys listening, when was a proud moment for you? Whether it was for one of your own accomplishments or someone else's, what was it? Let us know by calling 800-252-1025.
All right, I will make this really brief because I see that a lot of you get it. I'm very excited. So I was very proud of Shaun White for winning a gold at 30 years old. And I thought, what is the last time you guys were really proud? My brother John, 65 years old, holding down 3 jobs to make ends meet. Quits 2 of them, except for the choir director thing, quits 2 of them, goes to school full-time, and he'll get his PhD when he's 67 years old. I couldn't be more proud. That's a work ethic and, a desire that eludes me. So 1-800-252-1025.
George calling from L.A. What's a moment that makes you feel proud?
Oh, my. I'm George Takei. How are you?
You know what? I'm proud of you for doing a pretty bad. That's an awesome George Takei. I was going to say badass, and I thought I shouldn't. So, oh, my. What do you got?
Gilbert Gottfried. I'm proud of my Gilbert Gottfried impression.
Well, thank you for calling, George.
See, why did God create Gentiles?
I don't know. Why?
Somebody's got to pay retail.
Thank you very much, George.
Right.
That's not bad. When we
bad.
start doing wacky voices on this show, because you could put that in your box, we'll call you.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice job, man.
Ken, in Seattle, when have you had a moment feeling proud?
Oh, about 11 years ago, my father died. And my
everybody does that. Oh, that's not the thing? I apologize.
He wasn't proud of his dad.
Go ahead, Ken. I'm sorry.
My youngest child and my middle son, they were on the same football team together, and he died like 3 days before their game on the weekend, and they both decided to play. And the first play of the game, my youngest son, who's a running back, lines up as a receiver, and I'm like going, "What's going on here?" My son drops back and throws a 40-yard pass to my youngest son, who he's never thrown a pass to in all the years they played football. Ran in the end zone. They both pointed up to the ceiling. Comes running back over to me and hands me the ball and says, "That's for Grandpa."
Okay, swear to God, Ken, just I'm not kidding around on this. Yeah, I'm Dan Terry. Okay, so I thought it was just me, and I'm apologizing.
I don't even have emotion, and I'm tearing up at that story.
That was a great story, man.
Oh,
Thank
totally
you.
tearing
and
up.
I'm proud of your kids.
Yeah, me too.
Richard in Monroe, when was a moment that made you feel proud?
Well, growing up, I wanted to be a jockey, and so this is my early teens. I'd never been on a horse before in my life, so I show up at Longacres and I tell them this, and they say, "Well, you got to learn how to muck a stall first." So I started mucking stalls and grooming horses, and then they finally put me on a horse, and then I could never get it, and my nickname was Hit the Ditch Rich because I would just fall off every single time I got on.
Hit the Ditch Rich. So what happened?
And so eventually, years later, I kind of finally caught on, and so I finally got into ride my first race and ride my first race actually, and then just learned how to ride a racehorse. So that was
nice, man. Nice. I'm glad this is happening this morning. You just walk around all full of yourself, or somebody else if you're up to it.
Mark in Bellevue, what was a moment that made you feel proud?
The very first time I put my dress uniform on when I graduated basic training in the Navy.
I got to tell you, I would be super proud of myself because that's something I feel I missed. I should have gone to college. Would have been a great experience. I missed out. And I'd have loved to have been in the military, even though, might have been above my scope, above my pay grade of how difficult it is. But I think everything that happens after you enlist is just awesome, and you should always be proud of yourself. Nice job, Mark.
How about you, Ray in Tacoma?
Hey, Ray.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
I still have my Navy blues, too.
Nice.
Good, man.
I hope I don't get too choked up here, but back April 30th or so last year, not even barely 3 days after nearly getting obliterated by a tree on I-5, my Mary got up and walked across slowly from her bed in Harborview to the bathroom with 4 fractured vertebrae and a full body suit on. And she's still hanging in there, so I'm proud of her.
Well, we all know and love Mary. We're all very proud of
Crazy
Mary. Although I think I might have to take points away from Ray because Ray said, "I hope I don't cry during this." And then you failed miserably. Crying right now. We're all crying right now, Ray.
And not just hanging in there. She's kicking butt. She's
doing
a
it. She
feisty
calls
lady.
the show. She's funny.
Yeah.
Great recovery. Joe in Lake Stevens, a moment that made you feel proud?
And a happy Valentine's. What's up?
What's up?
Happy Valentine's Day to you, too.
What's
honey.
happening, Joe?
Hey, so I guess my moment was when I walked my firstborn daughter up the aisle, and then later I was able to pull off the father of the bride speech and not totally lose it.
Good for you,
Yeah,
man.
I got that coming up, man, and I am filled with trepidation about the speech, about the walking down the aisle, because she's a punk rock weirdo, and I don't know if she's going to.
I wouldn't say that in the speech.
No, she knows.
Leave that part out, I think.
She knows. I think she has a T-shirt that says punk rock weirdo. But yeah, the speech makes me real nervous.
And do you know she's going to ask you to do one? Because we
No,
did
I don't.
not.
I don't.
Yeah, we didn't do them at mine. We did one ourselves. We didn't do the best man speech. Like, you're just asking for trouble.
This Amy gets so upset. All my marriages, there's never been anybody there except
Right.
the person saying I do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She might not. I mean, she's going to have a goth wedding. She might not. You'd just be a proud
Except, no,
papa.
I've already put 10 G's into this. She's doing
Didn't say
something.
it wasn't going to be expensive.
Right.
You just might not be traditional.
Hey.
Brian and Fife, a moment that made you proud?
Yeah, I grew up in the 60s watching space flights on TV. They're probably.
Brian,
I
try to
finally
get.
got to go to NASA, and I was with the press corps and got an amazing photograph of the space shuttle.
Oh, that's beautiful. I'm assuming that's up on your wall in a spot for pride.
bet,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
Is that like a whole part of your house, a spot for pride?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I used to insist when I was doing celebrity boxing and stuff. This I should be proud of. I feel fairly ashamed and embarrassed. After I won my first fight, they gave me a belt, and this was in Chicago in 1992 or whatever it was. So I do these things, and they'd pay me money, and I'd say, I don't care. I'm not going to do them unless if I win, I get a belt and a big ceremony. So I've won at least, a dozen fights, and I have 4 more belts that don't mean anything. So it's not a great pride shelf. It's a great show-off shelf.
Serena in Seattle, when was a moment that made you proud?
Hey, so I grew up on a small island, and on this small island, I was a major tomboy. So I played football ever since 3rd grade. And there was, there's no girls' league or anything. So come high school, it was a really, really prideful every single game. Because you can imagine if you're in a high school on an island, every single team you play is kids you don't know.
Right, sure.
We had to go to Tacoma Baptist to be able to play a team. So,
yeah, that's got to be tough
and
growing up on an island.
Oh, man. So being the only girl on the team, my coaches insisted that I keep my helmet on the whole game so that I wouldn't get targeted.
Oh, that's smart.
Well, what do you do about your boobs?
Well, they were covered by the shoulder pads. You
got
couldn't
pads
tell.
and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, lots of
If
pads.
your boobs are covered by your shoulder pads, you should see a doctor.
Good for you,
Good
Serena.
for you. That's lovely,
Yeah.
Serena.
I'm proud of her.
Speaking of growing up on an island,
Yeah.
it's Dave in Federal Way. Hiya, Dave.
Hey, first, can I say I got two. I got 2 of them that I'm proud of. First,
right.
I want to say Happy Valentine's Day to my wife, Jocelyn. I'm very proud of her for dealing with me with all these years.
Me too.
And,
That's nice, honey.
and the second one is I'm so proud of the 14 kids from Gracie Baja and Federal Way who put up with the grueling training that they're gonna go fight this weekend on Sunday at the prestigious IBJJF Pan Kids Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Tournament. And 2 of them are my kids, Ezra and Tyler.
Well, neat, man. What'd you say their names? Go ahead, give them a shout out.
Ezra and Tyler. We call Ezra Rambo, and then my son Tyler, we call him Jun.
All right, man. Go get him.
Excuse me, but you're leaving something out, Dave. You never
And
said
you
it.
guys, if you guys want to try free jiu-jitsu for 3 days, come down to Gracie Baja Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Federal Way. Hop a day for both guys.
There we go.
Hoppa Dave is
right.
plenty on my phone, so I don't even put me in a full Nelson.
Yo, in Olympia.
What up, yo?
Well, hello, Danny. Yes, hello, Danny.
Hey, sweetheart. What is that moment that made you feel pride?
When you said that you like to see my name on the monitor and you're happy when I call.
Well, that's true. I stand by that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you know what it is? It's like her and Hoppa Dave and a couple of others. Because we do this for a living. This is our job. And when I see you guys, especially you, yo, it's going to be okay. It's not going to be a weirdo. It's not going to be somebody who forgets and talks dirty. So it makes me very happy when I see it's you, yo.
Paul, have you had a moment where you felt proud?
Yeah, we've got a busy house. Holiday and I both work full-time jobs. We've got a first grader who's got after-school activities and homework. We've got old people, a couple of pets, like a mess of animals. So we've got a lot going on. But about a year and a half ago, Holiday decided to go back to school. And so she's been taking classes online and at night and stuff. And this summer she's gonna graduate, get her associates, and then she's gonna start on her bachelor's. So
I had no
Awesome.
idea. You didn't tell
Yeah.
us. Did he tell us that she went back to school?
I knew that, but I
Oh,
mean, still,
that's boss, man.
So I'm super proud.
That's great.
I also wonder sometimes, like, wow, she must really not like me that she wants to spend all of her very limited free time on doing anything but hanging out with me.
I think Paul went to the Danny Bonaduce School of It's All About Me.
But super proud and
Super
happy
proud.
Valentine's
Nice-
Day to you.
nice job, Holiday.
Aw. Tori, you have a moment of feeling prideful?
You know, I don't say this enough, but I'm super, super proud of my mom. She goes every single week to the War Vet Hospital to hang out with the retired and disabled vets.
Really?
She's
wow,
such
that's
a
awesome.
sweetheart.
I had no
that's
idea.
awesome.
I
Yeah.
thought she was just cute. and
Love
that's
you,
what she
Mom.
did. Love you, Mom.
Aw.
Oh, it's adorable.
Everybody's so nice today. Where are the people I work with?
Yeah, no, we asked the question. You know, it starts with the Olympics and gold medals. This is what you get.
All right, well, let's hear from Derek. It'll probably be what we expect.
Last weekend, I washed my bed sheets, and then when I laid down for bed, I was like, damn, this feels pretty nice. I should do this more often, and I'm pretty proud of myself for washing my bed sheets.
Doing laundry once in your life.
You know, when they start to glow in the dark, man, it's time to wash them.
This traffic report is brought to you by Community Transit. In Kirkland on 405 southbound at 70th Place, there is some stop and go traffic due to an earlier accident. And on Highway 161 southbound at 28th Avenue, there was an earlier accident there as well that has been cleared, but still causing some minor delays. Can you drive it? Community Transit is hiring full-time and part-time coach operators right now. Earn over $29 per hour plus excellent benefits and paid training. Visit communitytransit.org/drive for us. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Hey, I'm going to tell you something about Valentine's Day that you may not have known. By next Valentine's Day, you could be thin. Ha ha ha! I have that kind of power. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you about 30-10 weight loss for life. There's an expression in the dieting world, which I've been a member of since I was 12, is that nothing tastes as good as thin feels. And in a way, that's kind of true. I love me some food, and I still, I get to eat anything I want. Now I'm down at my goal weight. But, having a pizza delivered is nice, but being thin, having new clothes, I don't know whether you're going to go to your kid's graduation or like I'm going to go to my daughter's wedding and be the thin guy in the tuxedo. It's a wonderful thing, and 30-10 weight loss for life is the way I have done it and accomplished it and keep accomplishing it every day. Tens of thousands of pounds have been lost through 30-10 weight loss for life, and it's not just the nutritional guidance that they provide. It's the devoted team at 30-10, and that's a real thing, man. They will give you a plan that if you follow, you'll hit your ideal weight just like I did. If you're ready to lose that weight and keep it off, go to 30-10 weight loss for life at 855-843-3010. That's 855-843-3010 or 30-10 weight loss for life.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Staples. It's another brisk day in Seattle. We're going to get highs in the mid-40s, a couple light showers this morning, nothing too heavy. We'll be seeing some sun around noon, and it's currently 38 in downtown Seattle. Let Staples help you this tax season with everything you need for less. From storage boxes and filing supplies to software like QuickBooks and TurboTax. And right now, get up to $15 off when you buy TurboTax. Ends 2/17/18, excludes TurboTax Basic. Staples, it's pro time. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
A bicyclist died in a wreck early this morning on State Route 161 near Military Road South in Milton. According to East Pierce Fire and Rescue, the victim is a man in his late 20s. There were no witnesses to this crash, but they do believe, according to Washington State Patrol, that this was a hit and run. Unfortunately, they still do not have any leads on the fleeing vehicle, but State Route 161 has been reopened following that investigation.
First, I'm terribly sorry for that guy and his family. They're local. They could be hearing the sound of this show. Second is, and I guess I don't mean to gamble. It's an expression I want to bet. But we could pick times till the guy's caught. What area is that?
This is Milton.
Yeah, okay. I believe was it a bridge in Milton?
It was on State Route 161 near Military Road South.
So they're going to find out what time that young man was on that road. And then they're going to go to everybody's camera on their front door, their Ring doorbell thing. They're going to have that guy buy lunch. I don't know if they'll tell you, but if you're that guy out there, quick, man, go turn yourself in.
Yeah.
An Everett teenager is under arrest this morning after police say they found evidence that he was formulating a detailed plot to execute a shooting at his high school. The investigation into the 18-year-old high school student began when his grandmother called 911 yesterday to report she believed there was a credible threat by her grandson to shoot other students at his school. Officers met with Grandma at her home, and she showed them excerpts of his journal. She also told police that her grandson had a rifle stored in a guitar case. They reviewed copies of this journal. They grew alarmed at the statements and the detailed plan to shoot students and to use a homemade explosive device at this high school. Officers then contacted the high school and they arrested the grandson.
Wow.
When he was searched, they did find weed, a knife, and he has been booked into Snohomish County Jail for investigation of attempted murder.
You should throw out a quick medal to Granny.
Yeah.
You know, grannies get weird. Like it's your kid might hurt other kids. Well, you got no point. You got no chance but to call. You gotta. You know, it's your kid. But grannies get a little weird. They're getting older. What to do it? She did just the right thing. She get some kind of reward or something.
There are 2 new ice sculptures that will be melting people's hearts in downtown Seattle today. A giant ice love seat sits in Occidental Park near Pioneer Square.
What's a love seat?
A love seat is a place for 2 people to sit. It's
a
small
love seat.
bench.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah, got it.
This features a heart-shaped back that stands 8 feet tall, and its creator, a professional ice sculptor from Cascade Crystal Ice. Romantics from Seattle can sit down and get a photo op on the love seat.
I'll be sending you the photo of me and Amy buying lunch.
I hope
The
so.
photo of your wet butts?
Yeah, my
It's
incredibly
got
wet
pillows.
Oh, okay.
There are pillows
My butt's
on
a
it.
little damp anyway, Paul, if you must pry.
Over in Westlake Park, the word love.
That even grossed Derek out.
There you go.
I don't
Come
know
on,
if anything
man.
has ever grossed
the
Derek
visual
out.
of that is awful.
There are certain goals that I have in life, and every now and again, it's gross out Derek. And when I hear I've done it, I feel pretty. You know, remember we did that segment about when were you proud?
Yeah.
When I made Derek gag. Not the first time. That was easy.
Derek, if you want the visual, I will forward you the text that he sent me a couple of weeks ago.
Oh.
No, thank you.
Over in Westlake Park, the word love is chiseled into a 4-foot ice block lettering. Like each letter is 4 feet.
Right.
So it's very big. It weighs 1,400 pounds. And there are flowers all inside the ice.
Neat.
It's really, really pretty. And
They should have put a bottle of vodka in it, and then you just wait. You know, and that's when you and it should have been tilted so when you see the nozzle or whatever it's called, you could open it up if you're an ice cold vodka drinker,
Right,
like my lovely wife is.
All right, so that is, again, in downtown Seattle at Westlake Park or at Occidental Park. Two really nice places to take somebody that you are a big fan of today.
Yeah.
And now to national and international news. Chicago police say that a police commander attending an active shooter training session became the highest-ranking officer killed in the city in decades.
What?
When he was shot after confronting a suspect yesterday. Police officers say that Commander Paul Bauer was fatally shot near a government building near the Loop after struggling with a man who had been fleeing tactical officers. He had heard about this on his radio. He fled. He ran to assist at the scene.
Yeah.
And the suspect is in custody. 44 years old, a felon with an arrest record going back 20 years.
Jeez.
Very sad.
Very sad.
The U.S. Army says it will drop its hand grenade competency requirement for graduation from basic training because it's taking too much time for the recruits to pass, and it is just too hard.
Why do we want them to be competent with hand grenades?
Well, wait a second. Here's what it is. You pull.
Yeah.
You throw, and then you blow up the bad guy. There, you're qualified.
You have to yell fire in the hole, I think.
All right.
All right, here's what military.com reports.
Why do we want to know what they have to say? We just
we're
told
in
you.
charge. We got
Come
it.
on.
To pass the current requirement is taking too much time. It's taking 3 to 4 times as much time just to qualify them on the hand grenade course. They are not strong enough to throw the grenade far enough away.
What? This is fake news.
Yeah.
This is Army Times and military.com.
Yeah, you'd think they might know.
A large number of trainees, quite frankly, just physically don't have the capacity to throw a hand grenade 20 to 25 to 30 meters.
30 meters is something. That's 90 feet.
Yeah, I don't have the
I think you do.
capacity
I think you do.
to throw a hand grenade.
I think
90 feet.
Plus, if you don't, it's going to blow you up. That's the motivation.
Right.
Do we have a parking lot here that we can try, lay out?
Yeah, that's a great idea, actually. So, with the fear of being called sexist, are there? Does it have anything to do with the popularity of women enlisting these days?
Because the statistics are still far leaning on the side of men that are in our armed forces.
It sounds weird. I'm 58, didn't take very good care of myself, and I am confident I could throw a hand grenade 90 feet.
So Army basic combat training, I don't know if it's a statistic that you can find to see what the percentages are, but they say the trainees are just not strong enough.
What are you feeding our military?
Well, how far is 40 meters in feet?
120 feet.
120 feet. And how many feet are in between a baseball mound and the catcher?
60 feet, 6 inches.
So you guys think you could throw twice as far?
I don't think
You've
I don't
seen
think
me
I
do
could,
it.
Yeah.
I've seen you bounce it in, and I've seen you do it.
Right. So it can be done. That's with a baseball, a good substitute for a hand grenade, except
Yeah.
it doesn't explode.
So
But could you go 150% of what you did?
What happened to 90
throwing out
feet?
The first pitch? That's what I'm saying. 90 feet. So 60 feet. You've got to go
Another 30 feet.
Another 30
no problem.
feet. Yeah.
No, you're trying not to throw that hard so you can govern where that goes. You could definitely do it.
I don't know. The military says it's taking too much time because too many people fail the first few times. It'll take 4 times.
Well, the first oxymoron I ever heard was military intelligence. So we beg to differ.
Last night, the Westminster Kennel Club gave Flynn Best in Show.
Yeah, man.
Flynn is a Bichon Frise. Now, this was a bit of a surprise, as it has been for the past couple of Westminster Kennel Club awards. Somebody new and unusual is winning. Now, the winner was
what's
announced.
weird about this dog is it doesn't look serious. And the Westminster everything, it's been going on 180 years, 120 years. It's a serious thing.
Mm-hmm.
And this dog does not look like a serious thing. It looks like an adorable thing. You'd
It's a
adopt
puff.
it. It's a puff.
Yeah.
It's just this.
With eyeballs in it.
It's just this big old puff, and everybody in the crowd had been shouting and super excited. They fell into stunned silence, and nobody thought that dog was going to win. But she did, beating out a giant schnauzer, a pug, a Sussex Spaniel, a Borzoi, a Border Collie, and a Norfolk Terrier. Now, earlier in the show, you were talking about a dog in this building that you were obsessed with. Turtle. Turtle is a Brussels Griffon.
Yeah, of course it is.
And this is the first year that they allowed that into the Western.
Because they're
Cigar
insane looking. And it's weird that they're in there because a lot of these things, and I don't care. As a matter of fact, the weirder the dog, I had one of those Chinese Crescent with no fur. It was fun until the sun came out and fried it. And it was a big drag. But my son's all a wreck about the devil dogs with these, like the French bulldog, because they're bred to be weird. I love that stuff. And I want to I love a little turtle.
Yeah, Turtle is super cute, and Turtle has his own Instagram page.
Right. Super cute. That came up.
Well, somebody put some pictures up purporting to be you, and it was not you.
That was not me. Oh, I'm not on Instagram. I don't even know how to Instagram.
You barely know how to use your own Twitter.
I don't even know how about half a gram. I used to.
Kansas.
Shut up, Paul.
I can hear Derek laughing through the soundproof doors.
That was a good one.
Thank you, buddy.
Kansas officials say a dog whose owner filed for the animal to run for governor will be disqualified.
Why?
What?
Even though there are no state statutes governing candidates' qualifications. This is a wire terrier named Angus. And they decided, you know what, Angus, just like Turtle, badass, cool dog, gonna run for office. And they have now told them they cannot. They wanted this dog to be governor.
Because it's not plausible. I'll be here all day. Maybe.
Yeah.
No, an hour.
They're talking about fighting it because there's nothing on the books.
You can't fight the dog. I mean, we were all for the dog running for governor, but if they're going to start dog fights, that's not. We're against those policies.
There are also 6 teenagers running for governor in Kansas, and they haven't been told they can't run.
Well, they sent him a letter, but nobody at 16 can read in Kansas.
Man, I love Kansas.
Different Kansas.
Yes,
This is
well, still, either way.
Today is Valentine's Day.
I know what that means.
A lot of flowers will be sent in the mail.
Yeah, they will.
And flour, too, which is weird because people
That
keep
is
getting
weird.
the white powdery substance in the mail.
Totally
Don't send
true.
flour in
Flowers
the mail.
and flour.
It's not romantic.
What is wrong with you people?
What do you mean, people?
Now she's growling.
UPS says.
What do you mean UPS?
What do you mean UPS?
I got all ready to go, and I figured I better go anyway. It's all, one in the chamber.
Oh, Fridays are my favorite last day at work.
They've announced that the United Parcel Service will be delivering an estimated 88 million flowers. That is a lot of blooms.
Is that 88 different deliveries or one rose each, so they're cheating?
Oh, yeah. Like if you send 18 stems, is that 18 different flowers?
Exactly right.
What do you mean UPS is delivering?
And half of those are for the bachelor. Always handing out roses. Crazy person.
Sorry, I brought that up. Okay, moving on. Pakistani police have arrested 4 people accused of stealing something from women.
They're virtue.
Close, but no cigar.
Really? That's close?
Sort of.
Well, you can only mean one thing, but what do you got?
These women went in to provide blood samples. They were told if you want to qualify for financial assistance from the government, you will need to provide a blood sample. They went in. Instead of it being a blood withdrawal, they took spinal fluid, which was then sold on the black market.
What's happening in Pakistan?
Yeah, something not good. As you know,
but I went to give blood not that long ago, as you remember, and I'm not real hip to what they do in the blood banks. But if somebody said, okay, bend over, we're going to stick a needle in your spine, I would know something was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be unbelievably painful.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
And they're trying to figure out what's its use on the black market.
Yeah, who's buying it?
Maybe the same people who buy ground up rhino horns?
Maybe.
I don't know. But they have now stopped this, and hopefully it will no longer exist, because that's not good.
My girl's got 'em. I'm sorry, that's my favorite song.
Your favorite song.
Yep, in life.
Did you turn it up to 11?
I did. I turned it right up to 11.
The test of a Vietnam-era flak jacket went well, said no one ever. Well, 3 buddies fired a .22 caliber pistol at it, and believe it or not, it stopped all of the bullets.
Nice.
All these friends in their late teens gathered together at a cabin. One of them had purchased a flak jacket and said, let's do a test. I'm going to put it on. and you shoot at me.
Well, that's unreasonable.
And what they said, just in case, they decided to put a pillow between his body and the flak jacket.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, safety first.
It's a miracle that he was not shot. They said a lot of times you miss. The flak jacket isn't covering you from head to toe. And in light of this situation, police are offering a very important safety tip. Don't let your friends shoot you.
There you go. Good tip.
That's a good tip.
Some words to live by.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, depending on how good a shot your friend is.
We've talked a little bit about spanking on this show.
We have.
That if your child misbehaves, give a little smack on the butt.
Sure.
And it is something.
If you listen to Chris Rock, you should punch your kid in the face.
That's what he
Seems a little
says.
odd to me.
Well, in this case, it was a grocery store in Georgia. The toddler kept asking Dad for a candy bar. Dad, can I have a candy bar? Dad, can I have a candy bar? You know how 2-year-olds are. They're sorry to be offensive, but they're really annoying. Well, eventually somebody got a little irritated with that question and spanked the kid.
Somebody else, not the kid's parent?
Correct.
I'd kill a guy.
You can't do that.
You can't do that. My dad, who hit me all the time and all his other kids, one of my neighbor kids' dad smacked me because I said something I probably shouldn't have. And I went home and I guess I tattled on the guy. I'd like to say, I went home and I think he was crying, going, Mr. Sterling punched me or slapped me in the face. And my dad, who's 5'2", and that guy was 6 feet tall, my dad went over and busted his whole house up. How dare you lay a hand on my son? And I'd do the same.
Yeah, first he smacked his hand that was reaching for the candy bar, and then he smacked his bottom.
Wow.
Police arrived and arrested the 62-year-old man for battery.
Wow.
Can't hit a kid.
Can't hit a
when
kid.
It's not your own.
It's the world's coming to. No, and I don't think you can hit a kid that's your own.
No.
Yeah. Believe it or not, there is a nice story out of Florida.
Makes me very happy.
A Jacksonville gas station clerk helped to save a kidnapped woman. I just realized this story is probably going to make you mad because it's a hero moment.
Oh, that I wasn't in? All right, that's it.
So she was kidnapped. Is she in a burning building and having a baby?
And pregnant and being held hostage.
With sharks.
She was trapped
Right.
in the car. She had been kidnapped. An employee looked out the window.
In the Middle East?
In the Middle East?
Dakar. You said she
Florida.
was trapped in Dakar.
This is Florida.
Uh-oh. What's that doing in Dakar?
He looked out the window and a woman in the back seat mouthed the word help. He was able to lip read.
What if she was just singing? The windows are up. What if she's singing and listening to the Beatles? I need somebody. Help. Not just anybody.
He was able to read her lips and called the cops, who were able to track her down and save her.
That is a lovely story.
I mean, did you ever do that? You look to somebody and you mouth something and they have no idea what you're saying?
All the time. There's a big giant microphone in front of your face.
I see. You didn't know what I was saying.
I did not know what you were saying.
I think if it was Paul, for example, because I've tried to have him read my lips before, he never has any idea what I'm saying.
When we were young, we used to think it was hysterical to, without saying anything, mouth the word vacuum. It doesn't look like vacuum.
I bet.
But then my mom saw it, and we weren't allowed to say vacuum anymore. And that's why I won't ever vacuum.
I always mouth the words olive juice.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Holiday thinks I'm saying I love you.
Yeah.
Or you say elephant shoes.
Oh, that's
Looks
a good
like
one.
I love you, yeah.
Well, it looks like I love you because who wears elephant shoes?
This is really corny, but Matt and I have oftentimes stopped saying I love you and we say olive juice instead. Like I leave, I'm like, okay, olive juice.
Wow.
That's sweet.
It's the
Vacuum.
same thing. I hate you. Prince Henrik, the French-born husband of the Danish monarch Queen Margrethe.
Yeah?
He's a guy you might remember.
I do remember this guy. I'm mad at everybody on his behalf.
Yeah, he was told that you're going to be buried here next to the Queen.
Right.
Well, he was
Your
mad.
wife.
He did not want to be buried next to his wife. He died this morning.
Well, I think his last words were, she's a hoe bag. I'm confident. Because he's got a reasonable gripe here, I think.
I don't really get it, to be honest with you. Something about he doesn't get treated the same because he is not the king. He's a prince.
Yeah,
And she's the
why
queen.
not? Why, okay, fair enough, because Queen Elizabeth's husband is not King Philip.
Right.
He's Prince Philip or whatever the hell he is. But Queen Elizabeth doesn't have the power to go bump and knock him on the head and go, now you're king. Where Queen What's-Her-Face has the absolute authority to go, boink, you're now the king of wherever we are.
Yeah.
And she
Denmark.
didn't do it, and then she died, and he doesn't like her anymore, and I'm with him.
Well, she already had these sarcophagi
Sure.
designed and waiting. So he's likely going to go there.
Oh, against his own wishes. Why didn't you make him the king?
Doesn't work that way.
I'm the king.
Of?
Moldavia.
No, I just checked. You are not the king of Moldova.
You're right.
No.
Is it Moldania? I don't know what it is,
Nope,
but
not that either.
my
Can't just make
sister's
countries up
I
now.
swear to God, my sister's license plate frame says Queen of Moldavia on it, and she's always insisted she's the Queen of Moldavia since I was a little kid.
Well, then you can't be king because then you'd be married to your sister, and that's
You don't have to
gross.
be married to somebody to be the king, do
Yes.
I think so. I think that's how it works.
you? She's married. He's married to her. He's not the king. Why didn't it work for him?
Who? I have no idea what's
The
happening.
guy you're talking about,
the
Hendrik
yeah.
Heydrich.
Hey, who's hungry for pancakes?
Oh,
I
man.
am. I
Who
am,
is
man.
hungry
Is that
for
what that says?
pancakes from our friends at IHOP? Well, you know, they're not just about pancakes. IHOP has over 10 different big omelets, all served with a side of pancakes.
Pancakes.
Pancakes. So you won't have to choose between the two.
Yeah.
Well, stay tuned because before the show ends today, we'll give you a chance to win a $25 IHOP gift card.
This traffic report is brought to you by Staples in Seattle on I-5 northbound between Boeing Access Road and James Street. Seeing some stop and go traffic, about a 20-minute delay. And on Highway 99 northbound at Des Moines Memorial Drive, there is an overturned vehicle. And it looks like that is currently blocking some lanes, so you're going to want to use caution as you make your way through that area. Let Staples help you this tax season with everything you need for less, from storage boxes and filing supplies to software like QuickBooks and TurboTax. And right now, get up to $15 off when you buy TurboTax. Ends 2/17/18, excludes TurboTax Basic. Staples, it's pro time. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Starting off with some music news, Pearl Jam's Mike McCready is giving back. The guitarist hooked up with a nonprofit organization called Treehouse to create an opportunity for children here in Seattle. Children who have lived in the foster system, this is to help them come together and make music. He went into the recording studio with them. Mike McCready gave an interview to Rolling Stone and said this is an organization that helps foster kids that are in dire need of finishing their education. It'll provide funding for summer camps, lessons, new clothes, a lot of things that we take for granted.
This is a lovely story in every way, but is there an actual treehouse involved?
It's just the name of the organization.
I was I was going to give some money. I've always had a treehouse when I had a house. They're great tree houses.
Yeah, but you can't just put foster kids in tree houses. Just
You can go to their house
leave them out in the woods.
build them a tree house.
They don't have a house. That's the whole point
There's
here.
someplace, Paul.
Well,
like, let's not find these kids families. Let's just build them houses in the woods, in the
outside.
trees.
I think that turned weird for no good reason. I'll build these kids a treehouse. It'll be awesome.
Mike McCready from Pearl Jam actually went into the studio with these kids.
Yeah.
And they created a song called Try So Hard. And we put the video of this whole process up at KZOK.com. It's really heartwarming.
Oh, my heart is warm.
Is the song done? Like, is that part of the video? Can we hear the song?
Derek, do you happen to have the song?
But it is finished. They recorded and finished the song.
I do not have it right now, but I can try to find it.
Huh.
That's cool.
I think this all went well.
Yeah.
It's up now at KZOK.com because it's more impactful to watch the video as opposed to hear the song because you're seeing the foster kids. So that's why we don't have it ready to go, but it's really worth listening to, watching at KZOK.com.
When there's a cause and you get kids, remember We Are the World, We Are the Children?
Yeah, right.
That was huge. We'll see what McCready delivers.
Speaking of Pearl Jam, we've got some Pearl Jam action happening this week, don't we?
Free Concert Friday.
Free Concert Friday.
Free Concert Friday.
Pearl Jam. The shows, 2 shows at Safeco Field, August 8th and August 10th.
That's
And
crazy.
we've got tickets.
Free tickets all day long. On
Has anybody
Friday.
ever done 2
Free
shows at
Concert Friday.
Safeco? Did Paul McCartney do it?
No, I don't think so.
Great.
It was a
That's-
single show.
Yeah.
That is ambitious, man.
So you can win tickets to Pearl Jam Friday with Free Concert Friday. The daughter of Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love is revealing something very personal about herself.
Find out her mom does.
Frances Bean revealed on Instagram yesterday she's celebrating her 2nd year sober.
Oh, that's lovely.
She said that she's always kept this private, but she said, I thought that I would start this post by using a pure moment in Oahu amongst nature with my love. Her and her boyfriend are in Hawaii.
Not the guy who stole the guitar, right?
Nope, new boyfriend. This moment is a representation of who I am on February 13th, 2018. It feels significant because it's my 2nd sober birthday.
Can I tell you this, no fooling around? That's such a huge deal. Because for, 20 years, I tried to get a year and never did. I'd have 3 months. And I'd throw a party, man, when I had 3 months. Unfortunately, I tend to drink at my parties, so that never worked out for me. But I went forever and ever to try and get a year. So God bless her. I think that's great. Hey, don't we have a new sponsor, Hotel California by the Sea? It's a rehab.
Yeah, Hotel California by the Sea of Bellevue.
I'm going to look into that because I think that's very neat. There are some choices to be sober.
Well, she has not disclosed what she is sober from. We have no idea. She has never spoken out about it until yesterday, and she did not go into any specifics as to what the addiction she struggles with. She just said she wants to focus on a healthier lifestyle and emotional stability.
Well, I have a very loose interpretation of sober. I didn't for 5 years or 6 years, and then they legalized pot. And you just go to the store and get it. And I went there with my daughter and I went, this is nice. So if you count marijuana, I'm not 100% sober anymore, but I don't. So shut up. I never broke into somebody's house and slept in the guest room by accident on pot.
Yet.
Metallica have been named recipients of Sweden's Polar Prize.
Is that we have to run in the cold water?
Yeah, that's it.
And then dump a bucket over your head?
The sound guy hates it when you take all the gear in with you.
A lot of people refer to this as the Nobel Prize of Music, but it is the Polar Prize. Now, Metallica, very worthy of any award.
If you get it 2 years in a row, are you bipolar? Thank you.
Their prize is almost $100,000 for winning this.
Oh, they need it, right?
Yeah.
They have already said they will be donating all of it to a charity called All Within My Hands, which supports poverty, youth.
That's the charity I'm donating my money to. Well, it's all within my pocket. It's really the charity I'm putting my money towards.
Should have given it to McCready.
An organization for poverty, youth music programs, and pediatric cancer.
Nice.
They're worthy. I think that's nice.
Sure.
Amazon Prime Video's longest-running hour-long original series is back for yet another season. Amazon announced Season 5 of Bosch, the Emmy-nominated series based on the Michael Connelly best-selling detective crime fiction
It's a great
novels.
show.
Is it?
It's awesome.
So
I don't
good.
think I've ever watched it.
Oh, you should watch it. It's really good.
Do I have it?
Do you have Amazon? Is that what you're asking?
No, do I have that show? Can I watch television on Amazon?
If you have Amazon Prime, which
I believe we do.
Yeah, then you have Prime Video. And
I'm
you can
going to
watch
go
it.
watch Bosch.
It's very good, but you get so angry when I tell you this, but it's a show you need to watch from beginning to end. You watch one in the middle, you are going to have no idea what's happening.
At least just start in the beginning. Like,
Well, no, what I watched season 6 of to start just the other night. Oh, Homeland.
Yeah.
It was good. I liked it.
You're
I
missing.
couldn't believe she died.
You're missing some backstory and relationships, but
I have a real life to waste. I don't have to watch theirs. They were good. Her kid got in trouble. There was an assassination attempt. Mandy Patinkin seemed cool. A little snotty, if you ask me.
his character is very snotty.
He's a little snotty, yeah.
Amazon also
See, I picked right up on the snot. I was ready.
announced a second season of The Tick, the superhero comedy, and Sneaky Pete, a thriller comedy. So Amazon Prime doing quite well in the independent programming.
Bausch has never been the same since he broke up with Lom. 4 people with glasses get that.
It's Bosch, but
the accuracy is the key to it all.
I haven't seen The Tick, but Sneaky Pete's also really good. So
I haven't
check
watched
that
that
out.
one. All right, good to know. Do I have to watch it from beginning to
You
end?
know,
It helps.
You have a 6-hour commute. You get here at 4 a.m. You got a 6-year-old to raise. How are you watching all this TV?
Those are like the 2 shows that I've watched ever in my life. I
year-
watch them in the car too on the way.
That's the message we're going to send out this Valentine's Day.
Last year, Jerry Seinfeld was asked about the possibility of a Seinfeld reboot, and he brushed it off and said, why?
Yeah.
Well, now
Yeah.
he said all of these, he was on Ellen DeGeneres, who said all these other sitcoms are having a resurgence. We've got Roseanne, Murphy Brown, Will and Grace. What do you think? And he said, well, I know where you're going with this. And she said, yeah, Jerry, do you think it's possible Seinfeld would come back? And he said, it's possible.
Oh, really?
It's a terrible idea.
I agree, but
Shouldn't
it's
do
possible.
it. There are a lot of these shows, the Will and Grace. That's great. I mean, I've never seen it. I watched the real show, the first show, a couple times. Very funny. Everybody's very funny on that show. And they come back and they're all great. I've seen pictures. They all look great. Jerry Seinfeld's an old Jewish man. And unless that's the way they're going to write it, because he probably never married or he married and got a divorce. But I don't know. He just looks like a curmudgeon. I don't think that fits that character.
Jimmy Fallon topped Stephen Colbert in total viewers for the first time in almost a year, and that's thanks to the Pyeongchang Olympics opening ceremony. Taking a look at all the numbers, everybody watching Jimmy Fallon.
Right. And after the Super Bowl, didn't he have Justin Timberlake on that same night?
Yep.
He did.
Pretty
On The
bad.
Rock. The Tonight Show was tops, followed by The Late Show, and then Jimmy Kimmel Live. But The Tonight Show, 3.2 million. The Late Show, 3.1. Jimmy Kimmel, 2.1.
More people need to watch Jimmy Kimmel.
He is
I think
funny.
that's
You know
my
what?
favorite
The only
of
time
shows.
that's not true. I was on
Did
the
you say
show
that's your
was.
favorite show?
That's my favorite of the late night
Oh.
shows. Yeah.
Because he's a bit of a curmudgeon like you.
I think he just. I mean, yes, I like his style of humor.
He seems the most like a real live late night talk show host to me. Jimmy Fallon, as much as I love him, and he's been very nice to me in real life, but he does, he gets up and dressed in thing and he pretends to be a guy in a band. And Jimmy Kimmel talks. He walks down to his market and says jokes, and then he sits down and interviews people. I like that.
Highway and American treasure Kevin Costner will star in a Netflix up-and-coming drama called Highwaymen, and it's about Bonnie and Clyde. It'll follow real
Shouldn't
life.
it be highway people?
Yeah, and which one of them's Bonnie? It's got to be Woody Harrelson, right?
That's a good point. The film will follow real-life Texas Ranger Frank Hamer and ex-partner Maney Goal, and they were called out of retirement to hunt down Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh.
Kathy Bates, Kim Dickens, John Carroll Lynch, Thomas Mann, and others will be in this movie.
Cool.
And it's all on Netflix. That's like a real big deal cast for a Netflix, exclusive movie.
Indeed.
Yeah, they're rolling in money, these guys now.
Yeah.
take a look at sports. Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI-AWAY. We got some good news when it comes to getting hockey to Seattle. The group, led by billionaire David Bonderman and Hollywood producer Jerry Bruckheimer, filed an application for an NHL expansion team to play at Key Arena. The hope is to have the arena renovated in time for the 2020 hockey season.
Yeah.
With a brand new expansion team here in Seattle.
You know, the building is already there. So if they said we're going to build that arena and have a team playing by 20, I'd say, no, you're not. You think you are. And then you're going to have a problem with electrical wires and plumbing and all this stuff. But that building's there. I think they could do this by 2020.
Yep, let's hope. One of the original Seattle Sounders is parting ways with the club. Defender Brad Evans, who joined the MLS version of the Sounders when they made their debut back in 2009, said goodbye to the club and its fans yesterday. He is heading to Sporting KC. So he sent out a nice tweet thanking fans in the city for their support.
I'm surprised he still, gets a chance to play. He's not retiring because his career had started to fade a little bit, and then injuries the last couple of seasons. He's not played much at all, but he was a great player and a captain for the Sounders for a long time.
Yep. And, of course, the other big Sounders news.
Right. Their new broadcast partner is 950 Sports Radio KJR, our sister station right down the hall.
Yeah, where Danny's friends are.
Yes. All of Danny's buddies are down there.
That's exactly right. There's like 10 of them. That's how much talent that guy has in his 6'6" frame.
Can you name more than the one that you can't name?
Liam?
Of your 10 buddies?
Yeah. No, you think you're going to trick me, but Chuck and Puck.
Chuck and Puck.
I love Chuck and Puck.
Those are two actual people's names. You're
well,
correct.
Liam, by the way, is someone's actual name.
Yes, just
because it's not that guy's name.
It's close, though. 950 Sports Radio KJR, the new home of the Sounders.
Yeah, and the season's right around the corner.
It is. March 4th is the first home game. So
Wild.
It's pretty exciting.
The Olympics, we've been talking a lot about Shaun White winning gold, but Derek, where do things stand this morning? How are the medal counts rounding up?
The current medal count in the lead with 12 medals is the geriatric Germans. Behind them would be the nimble folks from the Netherlands with 11. Tied with them is the nourished Norwegians at 11 medals. Let's see here. The cunning Canadians currently have 10 medals, and in fifth place is the astonishing Americans with 7 medals.
Okay, by the way, that was great. I just want to tell you that. But I know I have a grasp on your mental capabilities. Did that take you all day?
And how many did Tori have to spell for you?
And how many did Tori say, no, not that. That's a dirty word.
Surprisingly enough, I came up with those on my own, but I think I'm like completely out of ideas for the rest of the week, so we'll see how it goes.
Don't worry, I get by like that every day.
Sports Illustrated, the swimsuit edition, is about to hit shelves, and there is somebody brand new on the cover for this year. Her name is Danielle Harrington. She is the swimsuit issue cover model. This was revealed yesterday, and let me tell you, it is revealing. She is the third black woman to appear on the cover since its launch in 1964. We had Beyonce and Tyra Banks as cover girls in the past.
All right.
They do go way out of their way to keep it a secret so that it doesn't leak. Who's going to be the cover girl? It's very prestigious.
You know, they had one not too many years ago. I think we were all certainly together for it. And I think she was wearing a gold bikini, and there was an uproar about it being inappropriate.
Oh, yeah. Derek Jeter's wife.
I was ready to yell and say, "Calm down, everybody!" And then I saw it, and I have to go with the guys and say it was terrible
because the bottoms were so low cut.
And she had to. I mean, girls always have to shave or wax for anything, but this was a different area, if you will. It showed a part of a woman that you usually have to marry them to see that part or pay, whatever your thing is. But I found it way inappropriate.
Yeah. I'll be honest. Yeah. I'm going to sound very conservative here, but I think this one is too risque as well.
Is it up there right now?
You can see it online. It is not on sale yet, but it's...
I don't think it's that bad.
It's everybody
kind of nice,
me. This is why they don't give me a computer.
Exactly.
Because this is all you would do all morning is look at this picture.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot. It's her backside. It's her full backside wearing a thong.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining.
But there's a thong.
But it's going to be on shelves at Barnes & Noble or a drugstore. You know, if you go into the drugstore with your kid Jelly Bean, she's going to see another lady's butt.
Yeah.
All right, now, so you're walking by, you're at, where are you?
Barnes & Noble.
You're at Barnes & Noble because this kid can read.
Yeah.
And you're going by, and Jelly Bean says, "Dad, what's the story there? Do you have any issue with that? Is that enough?"
I don't think so.
I don't think I care.
I say, she's wearing a swimsuit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a lot of butt.
I don't know. I wonder what the difference is because I really had issues with that. The one where the lady from the front.
The back versus the front. I think
that's
totally
the whole
different
thing.
Yeah.
A California sheriff's deputy was driving to his assignment at the Golden State Warriors game and had an unexpected passenger, and the photo has now gone viral. It looks fake. It looks like it's for the Peter Rabbit movie or something. It's a mouse clinging to his windshield wipers.
That's adorable. Mice are cute.
They are super cute. Well, he was found clinging to the windshield and the windshield wipers, and he's driving, going to work, and looks down, and there's a mouse.
Wow.
Now, normally when that happens to you, it's some lady screaming for her life, hanging onto the windshield wipers not to get flung off. But according to
off.
Yeah, that's one.
Totally one. Yeah.
According to the sheriff's deputies, he did get to the game on time, and the Warriors won.
No, there you go. And now with sports guys, they're going to go, oh, man, it's the mouse. We got to have the mouse here for every game.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, right.
Earlier in the show, we talked about LeBron James and how he is going to be reviving the movie series House Party.
Yeah.
A lot of people love that movie. And he
I
said,
love that movie.
Yeah.
Kid and Play.
I liked Kid and Play. I thought they were funny.
They're going to modernize it. It will be back. But now the LeBron James-Kevin Durant rivalry continues into Hollywood. The Warriors superstar Kevin Durant says he is teaming up with Apple to create a basketball scripted drama inspired by his experience as a youth. Now, a youth. It's going to be called Swagger. And so he's coming out with his own show.
Yeah. I have a very immature way of judging men who don't have to be super smart to make their living, like not brain surgeons, and you just have to admire them and everything. But men, athletes, things like that, and I admire the one that can beat up the other one, and that's LeBron. He could totally beat up the other one. Do you disagree with me?
No,
totally.
Yeah, LeBron.
Yeah. Little dude. The other guy's a little dude.
In college basketball, the Huskies will face the Utes at 6 o'clock tomorrow.
What's a Ute?
Cougars, Buffaloes, 8 o'clock. Gonzaga Bulldogs versus the Lions at 6. And Seattle U will be playing New Mexico State Aggies at 1. We've been talking about it. It's time for pancakes.
Pancakes!
Time to win pancakes from our friends at IHOP. And remember, it's not just about the pancakes. IHOP has over 10 different big omelets, all served with a side of pancakes.
All right, here's a serious question for everybody out there. When was the last time you had a pig in a blanket? They are so good. You should do this, man.
Sausage rolled up in a pancake
with then syrup on it.
If you would like to win the $25 IHOP gift card, you need to call right now. It will go to caller 10 at 800-252-1025. Call now to win pancakes. Pancakes. You know who loves a good pancake?
That would be Steve Slayton, who does not have to shave and/or wax to come in here, although I think he should. Anyway,
it's nice when he does.
It is nice. So Steve Slayton's going to walk in this room, a real professional, and he's going to play you a lot of classic rock because that's what he does. We will get out of his way. Bye.
This traffic report is brought to you by Staples. Most of your roadways are looking pretty clear this morning, but you are going to see some stop-and-go traffic on I-5 northbound in Seattle between Boeing Access Road and James Streets. Currently about a 20-minute delay. Staples has low prices on the organizational solutions your business needs to clear the clutter and focus on the job at hand this year, like bankers' boxes, file folders, and storage bins. Less mess equals more success. Visit Staples.com for more. Staples, it's pro time. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.